1-3 record. Good afternoon, everyone, and thanks so much for joining us. Alongside Lori Fogelman, I am Derek Smith, coming to you from Foster Pavilion on the Waco Baylor Brazos River front. Bob Baker is our courtside engineer. Van Goodall and Cameron Savoy tag teaming on the production side today. We welcome you into today's broadcast. Just about 30 minutes from now, Baylor and Kansas will tip off. And Lori, for the Bears, you won a game on Wednesday against Colorado in which you didn't play especially well. To me, the phrase "win your clunkers" comes to mind. That's what the Bears did. They shot 36%, had too many late turnovers, and got badly out-rebounded on the offensive glass. They watched a lot of film this week, as you hear Coach Nicky talk about later on, and they saw what they did wrong. Sometimes you want to highlight what a team does right, but I think in this case the coaches felt like we need to show them what they did wrong so they can improve on that. And let's see if the Bears can play a cleaner game today against Jayhawks just from the start.
Really, I think that probably comes down to rebounding.
Yeah.
That was a big part of that game, offensive rebounding. Of course, you were going up against some great length from Colorado, and that was a very physical ball game. But you got to give a lot of credit to Colorado for coming in here and really giving Baylor a really tough game. But for the Bears, I think just coming away with a win is important. And they had some good things happen in that game, but I think really just making sure that they play a clean game defensively on the boards and really taking care of a really talented Kansas Jayhawk team.
You know, and Coach Nicky mentioned she felt like Colorado may kind of under the radar be one of the best defensive teams, if not the best defensive team we played this year. They have a lot of length and physicality. This Kansas team plays differently, but they've got a lot of talent. And I think, Lori, you've got to know you're playing a desperate Kansas team today. And I think we've been in this situation before against them where they know they've got a solid basketball team. And I think you look, that 1-3 record belies a buzzer-beating loss in Ames, Iowa, a tough loss to a West Virginia team by only 7 points. It's lost one game, and then a very good Utah team. They lost that by 3 points. Their three Big 12 losses have come by a grand total of 13 points. You know you're getting a team that's tired of losing, so you don't want to let them hang around and have a chance of hope.
And you look at their record in true road games, they're 3-1. So really the only misstep came at Iowa on that buzzer-beating three that you were talking about. So that it's an opportunity for Baylor today to really focus in, especially on their home court, and let their length bother some people as well. Of course, again, Kansas led by Samaya Nichols, but also you've got a super talented freshman in Jalea Davis, who is just only played 6 games, but boy, what a factor she has been in all 6 of those.
This is Conecuh Sausage Countdown to tip-off. Conecuh sausage is made from the finest cuts of pork. Their patented blend of seasonings and smoked over a pure hickory fire for that true hickory-smoked southern flavor. Conecuh sausage is always great on the grill and perfect for tailgating. Pick up a pack and enjoy your family's favorite recipes at any meal of the day. Conecuh sausage, a game day tradition, and the official smoked sausage of the Baylor Bears. A little bit later on, Lori, we'll talk about certainly an interesting headline in this game is the presence of Samaya Nichols, who you mentioned, along with Talia Scott for the Bears. You have 2 of the top 3 scorers in the Big 12, and you have the top 2 free throw shooters in the nation. That's going to be slowing them down is going to be key for both teams today.
You know, I absolutely agree with you there. It's just that, Baylor has been so good at the free throw line, and it has made a huge difference in games. When you think about Baylor going 17 of 18 at Iowa State in an incredibly close game, a 2-point win for Baylor, those were backbreakers against the Cyclones. I mean, not backbreaker for Baylor, but again for Iowa State when Baylor just was money from the free throw line. And again, they were very good on against Colorado, and especially they were just four free throws, but Bella Fauntleroy being good on all 4 of those, including the last 2 that gave Baylor that 4-point lead and a really good edge in a game that did come down to the wire.
Baylor shooting 73.5% from the free throw line this year. Talia Scott, 91%. big for the Bears. As we roll on Conecuh Sausage Countdown to tip-off, later on we'll look at starting lineups. So hear from Bears head coach Nikki Collin and get her thoughts on what Baylor can do to improve on the win against Colorado, what she expects to see from Kansas today, all that and more. But when we return, we're going to revisit Wednesday's conversation with Ting. Ting Dunn, she visited with us after the game. It was her first ever live English language radio interview. We are proud to have her here, and we're going to revisit her thoughts when we come back after this. It's Baylor and Kansas coming up today from Foster Pavilion on the Baylor Sports Media Network.
When you strive for greatness, you have a target on your back. And when it comes to finances, we're all targets for scammers. With the right game plan, you can protect yourself. Don't get faked by fraud.
Here's a tip. No reputable company or government agency will ever ask you to pay them with gift cards, Bitcoin, or a person-to-person payment app. Scammers use these options because the money can't be traced. Just don't do it.
This message is brought to you by Central National Bank.
Come see why Green Eye Associates is voted best in Waco year after year. Enjoy exceptional service and care from Dr. Leanne Green alongside her dedicated optometrist and staff. Receive trustworthy insights on your eye health. Enjoy the impressive variety of contacts and eyewear and work with the most experienced optical team in Waco. Don't miss the new state-of-the-art dry eye therapies that rejuvenate the eyes and face with safe, non-invasive treatments to restore comfort and quality of life. Green Eye Associates, official optometrist of Baylor Athletics.
Premier ER and Urgent Care has all the convenience of urgent care with all the expertise of an ER, all under one roof. At every visit, be seen by ER-trained staff with on-site lab and CT, X-ray, ultrasound, and EKG. Here, you pay for the appropriate level of care that you receive, and we are in network with most major insurance providers. Premier ER and Urgent Care has 4 convenient locations serving Texas: San Marcos, Temple, Waco, and Woodway. To learn more, visit www.premier.care.
Are you tired of slow internet? Are data caps and throttling making it impossible to stream your favorite shows and movies? If so, it sounds like it's time to switch to NextLink Internet. With NextLink, there are no data caps and no throttling, just super fast internet speeds, up to 1 gig over wireless in some areas. Plus, NextLink is an official partner of Baylor Athletics. So don't wait another minute. Give NextLink a call or go online to nextlinkinternet.com to see what special offers are available to you. Blazing fast internet is just a click or phone call away. Sick 'em, Bears.
You're listening to Baylor Women's Basketball on the Baylor Sports Media Network.
Continue to warm up here at Foster Pavilion as we get ready for today's game about 23 minutes from now here at Foster Pavilion. Baylor 3-1 in Big 12 action. Kansas is 1-3, but both teams have played most of their games in Big 12 action close. Baylor has just won in the big moments. Kansas so far has not. Baylor try to keep them from doing so today. A big part of that could be Baylor's bench. Baylor's bench has outscored the opposing bench in 11 of the last 12 games, and Lori, a big part of that has been Ting Dunn. She led the Bears with 13 points. All 13 of her points came on Wednesday night in about a 2.5 to 3 minute span there.
5 minutes.
5 minutes, I beg your pardon.
5 minutes, but crossing the third and the fourth quarters, but she could not miss during that time.
And that was huge.
Yeah, and even during the break between the third and fourth quarters did not slow her down whatsoever. But that gave Baylor the space that they needed, and a little bit of a lead for pretty much the first. It felt like the first time in a long time during the course of that game. But what a performance by her when. We're used to Talia Scott as a professional scorer. She's just so good, but Ting Dunn showed us exactly what she can do to impact the offensive end of the game.
And Lori, we really enjoyed our conversation with her on Wednesday night. For fans who missed that, we wanted to replay that today. Ting, I think we'll start hearing more interviews from her as she gets more comfortable conducting interviews live in English. It's her second language, of course. She's a native of the Hunan province in China, and she's learning, but she did a great job. And we asked her right off the bat on Wednesday about that flurry of points, and she said that a big part of that was adjustments in the second half.
I just make a little bit adjustment in the second quarter. Because I know in the first quarter, I missed a lot of shots. I lost a little bit confidence, and then my coach and my teammates tell me just keep shot, keep confidence. So that's important for me, I think.
Well, you're such a great shooter. I think, is that a common message from Coach Nikki? Be ready to shoot, because clearly she has a lot of confidence in you for obvious reasons.
Yeah. it's very important. Thanks, Coach Nikki, to believe in me, because she just told me, keep shot, be ready, stay ready, and then we'll pass ball to, you just need to shot the ball. Yeah.
Well, Ting, we're glad to have you on the post-game show after a Baylor win, #1, but those three-pointers that you hit that last, or that one right before the end of the third quarter. Can you talk about that particular play? Almost at the end, almost at zeros on as the shot clock is winding down, and you hit that three right at the buzzer.
Yeah, I'm super excited I made that 3-point, because I feel a little bit upset, because in the first quarter I didn't get any points, so I'm a little bit sad, and I just want to catch the ball, make that, and Jenna just told me, catch the ball, I will pass to you, and it's a lot of confidence, for me.
Yeah, well done.
Well done, absolutely. All of them much needed in this game. You guys have learned to play and win close ball games. Do you feel a calmness in these close ball games that you can do what you need to do?
Yeah, I just need follow the Coach Nikki's flow, because we know the point is very close, and then we have a little bit nervous, but we just need to be smart. Yeah.
Bluebonnet Health Services has been caring for Central Texans since 2004. Bluebonnet is locally owned and operated, which allows them the most interaction with patients each and every day, promoting compassionate care and integrity. They provide hands-on attention to their patients through a staff with years of experience. Bluebonnet Health Services provides home health care, supportive care, and hospice. Remember, it's your health, your choice. Ask your doctor for Bluebonnet Health Services.
Planning a new or used vehicle purchase? Drive the lane with First Central Credit Union's easy online application. It's a winning season with First Central's full court press of quick local loan processing, your best rate, and flexible terms. Apply online. You'll score at www.firstcentralcu.com. We're your team.
Membership and loan policy requirements apply. Member NCUA.
We don't just build trucks. We build something that's meant to last. That's why the 2026 Toyota Tundra isn't just built in Texas. It's built by Texas, which means the Tundra is built to tough it out and to take it easy. Built to carry tradition and to make new ones. Built to roll with the punches and to go the distance. Built stronger, built louder, built here. The 2026 Toyota Tundra. Built in Texas, driven everywhere. Test drive at your local Toyota dealer or visit Toyota.com today.
Right now, qualified buyers get 2.99% APR financing for 72 months, plus $1,000 of Vention cash on a new 2026 Tundra. Toyota, let's go places. Feature availability differs based on trim. See Toyota.com for offer details. Offer available in select states and ends 2/2/26.
You're listening to Baylor Women's Basketball on the Baylor Sports Media Network.
Pavilion, we get you ready for that one here with Coach Nikki Collin when we return after this on the Baylor Sports Media Network.
See for yourself why Green Eye Associates is voted best in Waco year after year. Enjoy exceptional service and care from Dr. Leanne Green, along with her dedicated optometrists and staff. Receive trustworthy insights about your eye health, enjoy the impressive variety of contacts and eyewear, and work with the most experienced optical team in Waco. Don't miss the new state-of-the-art dry eye therapies that rejuvenate the eyes, face, and neck areas with safe, non-invasive treatments to restore comfort and quality of life. Visit greeneyeassociates.com. Green Eye Associates, official optometrist of Baylor Athletics.
When you strive for greatness, you have a target on your back. When it comes to finances, we're all targets for scammers. But with the right game plan, you can protect yourself. Don't get faked by fraud.
Here's a tip. If you receive a call from someone claiming to be from a company, don't give them your personal information, ever. Unless you know them personally, hang up and call the company back on a verified number.
This message is brought to you by Central National Bank. Today we have two very special guests on our program, introducing Lem and Lime.
Hello.
For Starry Lemon Lime Soda.
Thanks for having us.
What is Starry Lemon Lime Soda?
It's a crisp, clear burst of lemon lime flavor, and it's caffeine-free.
Between us, one of you must be a little more important to Starry than the other. Who is it?
We're both important.
So it could just as easily be Starry Lime Lemon Soda.
No, that doesn't sound right.
Oh, I like it.
So you saying hip-hop could be hop-hip?
Works for me.
Starry Lemon Lime Soda. Starry hits different.
Yep.
ER and Urgent Care has all the convenience of urgent care with all the expertise of an ER, all under one roof. At every visit, be seen by ER-trained staff with on-site lab and CT, X-ray, ultrasound, and EKG. Here, you pay for the appropriate level of care that you receive, and we are in-network with most major insurance providers. Premier ER and Urgent Care has 4 convenient locations serving Texas: San Marcos, Temple, Waco, and Woodway. To learn more, visit www.premier.care.
You're listening to Baylor Women's Basketball on the Baylor Sports Media Network.
Bears back at home today against the Kansas Jayhawks, and it's time for our pregame visit with head coach Nikki Collin. Baylor coming off of a tight win against Colorado on Wednesday, and Coach Nikki, you look at that game, and it was a tight game. It wasn't Baylor's best shooting game by any stretch, but I'm curious, what do you take away? What do you want the team to take away from a game in which there's some mistakes that were made, some shots that were missed, but you got it done?
Yeah, it was a bit of a trap game for us. I think. You come off a national TV win over an undefeated team on the road. We had really good energy at practice, but I still think, you come back and, we got a ton of open shots in the second quarter, just couldn't make any. Like, when do we ever score 5 points in a quarter? But in those moments, Colorado only scored 7 points. And so we talked a lot, what we really went over. We went on our baseline out-of-bounds defense because, A, there were so many, and B, it was something we weren't good at. And we got away, and we made some mistakes that they didn't make us pay. But then we went over our late game, those last 3 minutes, what the decisions we made at both ends of the floor, fouling a three-point shooter, understand the desperation, almost fouling the half-court shot on the last possession of the game when you're up 4. And really teaching. It was a teaching moment. We talked about how it's way better to get to teach and grow from your mistakes in a win than a loss. But we certainly still did a lot of things right to come away with the win. But you got to learn. You got to learn from your mistakes, and we've got to be better today.
In back-to-back games, Talia's got off to a slow start shooting the ball. Now, she's always got that ability to fill it up even after a slow start. But is there anything similar in those 2 games or anything that you're trying to work through on that?
Not really. I think she got good shots, in particular in the first half against both those opponents. I thought Colorado did as good a job in the second half as anyone we faced this year in terms of keeping a physical guard on her to get around screens. And then their post and their ball screen coverage could sit down and guard. They were long. They had switch ability. I thought they were probably the most like us in terms of 3-4-5 with the ability to have length and bother jump shooters. And I thought they sat down and kept her away from the rim so she didn't get to the foul line, which oftentimes gets her going. And so it's a new opponent, new day. I thought in the first and second quarter, when we were able to rebound and get in transition, I thought she got really good looks in transition. So it comes back to, are we doing our job on the glass all the way around? So we get those opportunities to attack before defenses are set.
It's Baylor and Kansas today at Foster Pavilion, visiting with Coach Nikki Collin. And, Nikki, you look at 11 of the last 12 games now, your bench has outscored opponents. That's becoming pretty consistent. It's not all about scoring, but that's one element certainly. Are they becoming a unit that I don't know if saying earning your trust is the right thing, but what do you see when you see this bench unit and what confidence you feel in them?
Yeah, I mean, I'm not sure we don't get better offensively when Ting goes in the game. And I think that's something a year ago I felt a little bit like that when Yaya would go in the game. We had a different energy when she came in the game. Yaya and Ting, very different, but their ability to put points up in a hurry, there's a similarity. How they do it isn't necessarily the same. But I certainly think Ting gives us offense. I think Kyla gives us offensive rebounding. She's our best, offensive rebounder when it comes to that 5 position. So she creates extra possessions for us. She's our best screener. So we get in actions, maybe sets the most illegal screens too, but, and then I think we can get energy from Markayla. And so, game to game, it really depends. What do we need? The last game, because of Bella, kind of getting hurt, that meant Ting was going to play more because we wanted to keep length on their 3, 4, and 5. Other games when they're smaller, all of a sudden then Markayla's probably going to play more off the bench, or as Ella and Nez get into the flow, it becomes easier to play more smalls, So every opponent is a little bit different, but I certainly am happy that we are getting production. And, we talked about Kayla 2 games ago. I think it really depends on the game and how they're playing us to determine, which of our bench players has the ability to make the most impact on that any given night.
And finally, you've got Kansas today. Obviously, kind of a headline for a lot of people is going to be, you've got 2 of the Big 12's top scorers in Talia Scott and Samaya Nichols. You've got the 2 top free throw shooters in the nation. So certainly Nichols is a big part of that. But where else will you be looking today as you look to slow down what the Jayhawks try to do?
Yeah, I think Elle Evans is pretty much leading the nation in three-point shooting. We did a good job a year ago of keeping length on her. Bugs did a really, really good job on her. But their lineup looks different, and now with 2 bigs, we'll probably have a little on her. Jana's going to get the assignment to start. So you've got a 6'3" wing and a 5'7" point guard, and so we've got to crowd her space, because where she's had so much success this year is from the 3. So I think that's a big one. And then Jalea Davis, has really given them, she's averaging 20 points a game and has been injured a lot of the year. But someone that we recruited as well and had on campus, but an elite energy player that can get on the glass, that they can play through in the post, who can drive it from the high post. So I think they do a really good job of play calling and creating advantages for wherever they feel like the mismatch is, which, often a lot of times it's with Samaya Nichols because of how good she is.
All right, thanks very much. Bears head coach Nikki Collin with her pregame comments. It's the Bears and the Jayhawks coming up from Foster Pavilion after this on the Baylor Sports Media Network.
Hellberg Barbecue is a family-owned business started here in Waco, Texas, and proud to serve the local area. They love to cater all kinds of events, big and small. Serving Baylor and its families is one of their favorite things, and they even ship barbecue nationwide. Check them out while here in Waco or online and support one of Waco's local barbecue restaurants, Hellberg Barbecue. Salt, pepper, and a whole lot of prayer.
Hi, I'm Jim Turner at Jim Turner Chevrolet in McGregor. As we celebrate our 10th year anniversary, I want to say thank you to all of our customers. Our dealership is more than a business to me. That's why when you come see us for a reliable new Chevy or award-winning service, we treat you like family. Come see our new collision center, now open to serve you even better for many years to come. Enjoy the game, then come see us at Jim Turner Chevrolet in McGregor. Together, let's drive.
Kids can now join the Baylor Cub Club, the official kids club of Baylor Athletics, presented by Green Eye Associates. Fans 12 and under can register for the low cost of $25 and gain exclusive benefits and access to Baylor Athletics events. Members receive free admission to select events, exclusive giveaway access, and their own membership package. To register your Cub, please visit BaylorBears.com/Cub Club. Sign your Cub up today.
Are you tired of slow internet? Are data caps and throttling making it impossible to stream your favorite shows and movies? If so, it sounds like it's time to switch to NextLink Internet. With NextLink, there are no data caps and no throttling, just super fast internet speeds, up to 1 gig over wireless in some areas. Plus, NextLink is an official partner of Baylor Athletics. So don't wait another minute. Give NextLink a call or go online to nextlinkinternet.com to see what special offers are available to you. Blazing fast internet is just a click or phone call away. Sick 'em, Bears.
Fox Sports Radio, 93.9 K230 CK and KRMX HD3 Waco.
This is Baylor Women's Basketball on the Baylor Sports Media Network.
Brooks wants to drive in on Abraham, who blocked her shot.
Way to go, Abraham. She held her ground.
Top of the key and traffic out to Fauntleroy. Here's a three from the left side, and it's good.
Today's game is brought to you by Central National Bank, proud season sponsor of Baylor women's basketball. Texas Farm Bureau Insurance, championship partner of Baylor Athletics. Visit Texas Farm Bureau Insurance online to find a local agent today. Baylor Scott and White Health, the official hospital and healthcare system of Baylor Athletics. Your healthcare, your way. Libman, America's trusted brand name in cleaning. TFNB, your bank for life. The official local bank of Baylor Athletics. Premier ER and Urgent Care. Feel better now. Get ready. Tip-off is just moments away. Now, back to the voice of Baylor women's basketball, Derek Smith.
Away from the start of this one, Baylor and Kansas. Baylor ranked number 16 in the nation, 31 in the net rankings overall. The Bears are 14-3 in overall, a 3-1 tied for the second best record in conference action. Texas Tech is undefeated at 4-0. Meanwhile, the Kansas Jayhawks are 11-5 overall, 1-3 in Big 12 play. They are number 56 in the net rankings, and they have lost their 3 Big 12 games by a grand total of 13 points. Weirdly enough, Laura, I was thinking about the fact that really these two teams, Baylor and Kansas, have played pretty similar Big 12 games, but the Bears have won 3 out of their 4. The Jayhawks have lost 3 of their 4. Weirdly enough, the biggest Baylor win in Big 12 play so far was the game they were down 19 to Oklahoma State with 11 and a half minutes to go. They won that game by 9 points. But you're talking about the Big 12 wins have come by a grand total of 15 points. So very, very, very similar, except, again, the Bears have been a team that found a way to get it done. And I expect they're going to get Kansas's best effort today, and I think you need to expect to get a very hungry, desperate effort from a team that is either, you would expect, is galvanized by trying not to lose anymore and not yet beaten down by all the losses.
Yeah, and again, you just can't take your home court for granted either. I think Kansas comes in here completely focused on, they don't have to worry about anything that's out there. The fans have to really give Baylor some big energy today and help them not allow Kansas to come out and just jump on the Bears early. It's going to be a really good game. I'm looking forward to this one, Derek.
And Kansas is a team that defeated Baylor pretty soundly in Kansas 2 years ago. Then Baylor got them back in Waco and beat them pretty soundly in Lawrence last year. But a lot of the games between these two teams have been fairly close. Kansas is a team that has making a leap under Brandon Schneider over the last few years, but hasn't quite been able to get over the hump into being a consistent contender. And obviously, you don't want to let them make a step towards that today.
Coach Nikki Collin has a lot of respect for Brandon Snyder. I remember him from his time at Stephen F. Austin over in the Piney Woods, and she says he's just such a good play caller. That Baylor's defense, led by your defensive coordinator and Tony Green, really needs to be on, just on lockdown today against Kansas, they've got a lot of weapons, and you just can't let them get on a roll. Baylor is the team that needs to get on the roll.
Well, starting lineups are being introduced here at Foster Pavilion. The lights are down. It is a whiteout, and most of the fans got the memo. In fact, an overwhelming number did.
Good.
Just like they
Way
did
to
at the
go,
men's
Baylor
game
fans.
yesterday. Yes.
Nicely done.
Looks good, and the Bears wearing their white uniforms as well. When it comes to sports medicine and orthopedics, Baylor's Scott and White Southwest Sports Medicine and Orthopedics brings the home team advantage to Central Texans. Let's give you the starting lineups first for the visitors. The Jayhawks of Kansas, their starting lineup looks like this. The forwards, reigning Big 12 Freshman of the Week, Julia Davis. She has dealt with leg pain this year and played in only 6 games, but in those 6 games, she's averaged 20 points and 5 rebounds per game, and she's the reigning Big 12 Freshman of the Week. At the other forward, 6'3", Libby Meister, an Indiana transfer. Meister is a senior, averaging just under 10 points and over 7 rebounds per game. And then the guards, Kelsey Parks and Elle Evans. Elle Evans is one of the nation's top 3-point shooters. In fact, she is second nationally in 3-point percentage at 51%. And then the other guard, Samaya Nichols, one of the best players in the Big 12, the junior from the Kansas City area, third in the conference at 19 points per game. She has 3 rebounds and leads the team with 5 assists per contest. So for the Jayhawks, Parks, Nichols, Evans, Davis, and Meister. For the Bears, Coach Nicky is rolling out the lineup that we're familiar with when everybody is healthy. The forwards, Kirsten Johnson, Dariana Littlepage, Buggs, and Bella Fauntleroy. Bella, Buggs, and KJ, a senior late in front court. KJ leads the Big 12 in blocks per game at 2.5 per contest. Bella Fauntleroy 1-3 away from entering the top 5 all-time in program history, 9.5 points, 5.5 boards per game. And then Dariana Littlepage Buggs. All she's done is amassed 8 double-doubles this year, and she is averaging a double-double, 10 points, 10 rebounds. And then the guards for the Bears. Talia Scott, 20.5 points per game. She has been quiet in the first halves. Let's see it last 2 games. Let's see if she can get going today. And then Jana Van Guytenbeek, 7 points, 7 assists per game. She is top 12 in the nation in assists per contest. Our starting lineups are brought to you by Baylor Scott and White Southwest Sports Medicine and Orthopedics. From injury prevention to enhanced recovery, team up with us to get back in the game. Baylor in white with green letters and numerals gold trim. Kansas in black with white letters and numerals red and blue trim. And it will be KJ and Jalea Davis at the center to jump. The tip is fumbled a bit, and Evans comes away with it. Kansas will begin on offense, and she gives it off to Samaya Nichols, who's been a difference maker for Kansas over the last 2.5 seasons. Jayhawks begin on offense. Meister has it between the circles, middle of the floor. Fires left side to Nichols, averaging 19.3 points per game. She kicks it out to Jalea Davis over to the dangerous three-point shooter, Elle Evans, who stumbles and travels with it. She didn't quite plant that foot there.
Yeah, Baylor making it tough, though. A great switch also, as Baylor was defending all around the perimeter, but did not allow a paint touch from Kansas that time.
A defensive possession for the Bears to start, and now their first offensive look at things. Talia Scott has it top of the arc, wants to penetrate, gets downhill, swings the elbows, finds KJ inside, kick out to a wide open Bella. 3 from the right wing is a bit too strong. Rebound, Trevin chasing down in the corner there by Bella. The Bears will get another look at it. Here is Van Guytenbeek, middle of the floor, swinging it to KJ. 12 on the shot clock. Bella, left side to the free throw line, gets inside, drives on Davis, and fires it off the bottom of the rim. Got a little too far inside. Had a hand on the loose ball there, but she stepped on the baseline, and that's going to give it back to the Jayhawks. 54 seconds in, neither team scores on their first possession. Already Brandon Schneider with a substitution. 6-foot freshman Libby Fandel is in for Elle Evans.
Well, I think Baylor did get the message on pursuing the offensive rebounds. They just don't have anything to show for it.
Well, that's a good point there, Lori, as Baylor was really beaten badly on the offensive glass. That kept Colorado in the game on Wednesday night. Here is Parks, the freshman, swinging it left side to fellow freshman Fandel. Kansas does play a lot of freshmen. They hope that pays dividends as time goes on. 5 to shoot for the Jayhawks. Nichols sees an opening, pops it at the Big 12 logo just inside the free throw line and splashes it in for the first scoring of the game.
That's where you want to keep Nichols away from the paint to being able to get that pull-up jumper.
Pull-up 3 by Talia Scott, front rim no. Rebound trickles out to the top of the arc, and Jalea Davis is able to get a hand on it, control it, keeping it away from the pursuing Bugs. Now Meister cutting to the basket, a good rim run, and Nichols finds her for the easy 2. Kansas is up 4-0. Just about 2 minutes gone in this one. Here is Jana Van Guytenbeek bouncing in a paint to KJ, but she never quite had a hand on it, and Kansas strips it as she goes back up. Parks racing the other way, pops a mid-range jumper. It's off the back rim, no. Fight for the rebound, and Bugs comes away with it. Her first rebound of the afternoon. Bears looking to dent the scoreboard for the first time. 2 minutes and 10 seconds in. Jana swings it in the corner. Talia Scott unloads a 3. That's too strong. And Bugs, good position, fighting for that offensive rebound, is fouled. Pushed to the floor there. And that's the first foul on Samaya Nichols' first foul of the afternoon.
Boy, that was almost a Bella Fauntleroy, like hit the ground like Bugs did, but she pops up. Baylor inbounds the basketball.
Here's Jana Van Guytenbeek taking the inbounds off the handoff. Now to Talia Scott. Bella Fauntleroy is going to try another 3. That's off the mark. Another offensive rebound. Dariana Littlepage Bucks finds a cutting. Jana swoops inside, but leaves the left-hand runner well short. And Meister comes away with it. Baylor 0 of 6 from the floor to start the game. Despite 4 offensive rebounds, they've been unable to score off of them. Pass in close to the freshman, Jalea Davis, but she throws it off the bottom of the rim. Rebound tipped out to Van Guytenbeek, and here come the Bears down 4-0, not quite 3 minutes in. Janet finds Bugs in close, and she will not miss from there, pushing it in with the right hand off glass. 4-2. Baylor finally hits the scoreboard here with 3 minutes gone in this one. Samaya Nichols with the left-hand dribble. Bugs is guarding her at the moment. She bounces to Julia Davis, kicks it back to Nichols. Thought about a three, but Bella closed defensively. Here's Parks with the shot clock now in single digits, swinging it to Fandel. Double teamed on the left wing. Bounces to Julia Davis, who charges into Talia Scott. That's an offensive foul.
And Talia is taking a page out of Bella Fauntleroy's playbook and stepping in underneath and getting a really important foul called on Davis, and L. Evans back in the ballgame.
Laya Knessa in for the first time. Knessa has started a number of games for them this year, a junior averaging 4 points, 2 rebounds, and 2.5 assists per contest. Baylor with the ball down 4-2. Here's Bugs cutting to the basket. Bella finds her with a nice lead pass, and we are tied. Bugs has scored all 4 of Baylor's points, not to mention collected 3 rebounds in the first 3.5 minutes. Here is a 3 by L. Evans. She got loose there and knocked it down from the left edge to give Kansas the lead back. It's 7-4. Baylor did a good job on her in Lawrence last year. Here's a free throw line jumper from KJ off the pass from Van Geitenbeek, but it's too strong. Kansas with the rebound. They have it up 7-4, 4 minutes gone. Samaya Nichols wanted a jumper from the top of the key, but KJ got out defensively, so she passes to Fandel, whose 3 is too strong from the right side. Bella Fauntleroy absorbed some contact as she grabbed the rebound. She's jogging back down the floor. Talia Scott takes it at the other end for the Bears. A handoff from Bugs, but she can't clear the 3. Now she does find room behind the screen, but misses the 3-point basket off the back iron. Talia Scott is 0 for 3 to start the ball game.
You know, she could have just pulled the trigger really quickly, but thought about it, and I think that's where it's in her mind right now. But shooters keep on shooting, and that's definitely what you want Talia Scott to do. Nichols drives into an open key jumper, but misses. Bugs is able to save the rebound from going out of bounds, and Baylor down 7-4. Has it once again. Kyla Abraham will check in on the next dead ball. Talia Scott nearly picked by Knessa, but she's able to maintain possession. Swings that left side to Bella Fauntleroy. Bella lobs it left elbow to Bugs, dribbles into a pull-up jumper and buries it. Bugs has all 6 of Baylor's points halfway through the first quarter. It's a 7-6 ball game. The two teams are a combined 6 of 19 from the field. Nichols left edge. Wants to drive around a Meister screen. Baylor with the switch off. She gets inside, tries to hit a cutting Meister, stripped on her way up by Kyla. Talia Scott comes away with it. Bears with a chance to take the lead. Talia Scott drives inside, double clutches, and misses the runner. Offensive rebound, KJ, and she pushes it off glass and in. Baylor in front, 8-7, as KJ never really, I think, even had a full set of hands on the basketball, just kind of pushed it off the glass and in. I think she was in really good position. She was square right with the basket, and it was a great offensive rebound and putback.
Here's Evans, another look at a 3. That one's off the mark. Bella collects the rebound with her back to the bucket over the shoulder style and gives it ahead to Van Geitenbeek. Baylor 8, Kansas 7, 6 minutes gone in this one. Bella Fauntleroy has it on the left side. Step back 3, splashes it in.
And now 3,
Bella, yes, Lauren.
Yeah, that 3 ties Baylor, for 5th all-time in 3-pointers made, and tying the great Angela Tisdale and Kristen Mayberry at 164 made 3s.
Samaya Nichols nearly had a chance at a 3-point play. She drove inside, absorbed the contact. Her runner rolled off the rim, and it will be a pair of free throws for the nation's leader in free throws attempted and made when we come back. That foul is on Bella Fauntleroy. That's the first on the Bears. The 2025-26 women's basketball season is presented by Central National Bank, proudly serving Central Texans in Waco, Temple, and Austin. Bank different, Bank Central, Central National Bank. Baylor 11, Kansas 7, 3:45 to play first quarter here on the Baylor Sports Media Network.
Serving Texas since 2007, Magnolia Realty is a full-service brokerage led by expert industry knowledge and a commitment to community. With kindness and integrity at the forefront, every agent is equipped to help you navigate the market and make the real estate journey your own. Whether buying or selling, feel supported with an award-winning agent at your side from first offer to contract and close. Magnolia Realty serves cities including Waco, Dallas, Fort Worth, Austin, San Antonio, Temple. Learn more at magnoliarealty.com.
When you strive for greatness, you have a target on your back. When it comes to finances, we're all targets for scammers. But with the right game plan, you can protect yourself. Don't get faked by fraud.
Here's a tip. If you get a call saying they're going to lock you in jail for missing jury duty unless you pay a fine, that's fake. Scammers use scare tactics to force you to act without thinking. Just hang up the phone.
This message is brought to you by Central National Bank.
You're listening to Baylor Women's Basketball on the Baylor Sports Media Network.
Scored the last 7 points in this win and lead 11-7 with 3:45 remaining in the first quarter in this Big 12 game against Kansas. And Lori, that three-pointer was a significant one for Bella and for the program.
You know, you don't realize that Bella's hit as many threes as she has, and now at 164 for her career. As we just mentioned, she tied Angela Tisdale, who played from 2004 to 08, and Kristen Mayberry, who played from 91 to 95, both with 164 made threes. Next in her sight at 6 free throws away is the great Juicy Landrum, who played for 2016 to 2020 and a national champion for Baylor. I don't think that Bella has enough games to get to the very top. Odyssey Sims with 258, and Sarah Andrews, who finished her Baylor career at the top of Baylor's career three-pointer, made at 320.
Well, that's crazy when you think about it, how many more Sarah has than anybody else. If you look at spots 3 through 5, there's only about 33 pointers in between them. Sarah has 62 more than the second most, Odyssey Sims, and 125 more than the third. But going back to Bella, that's a really impressive feat by her in her 4th year with the Bears, and she is going to continue to climb.
Yeah, and also let me mention at number 3 is Jennifer King. Jennifer King had 195 threes from 1989 to 1993, and also was just a prolific shooter from the outside.
Well, Samaya Nichols out of the timeout is at the free throw line, and she misses a free throw. Nichols, an 83% shooter who leads the nation in free throws attempted and free throws made.
Yeah, she is, she's moving up the Kansas career charts as well. She now has 500 made free throws in her career, and she's only 5 away from tying Lynette Woodard. I mean,
pretty good.
That's saying something, but she is so good, like Talia Scott is at getting to the free throw line.
She hits 1 of 2, so the Bears have the ball in an 11-8 lead. Shanna behind a KJ screen is too strong on a 3. Rebound into the corner. It's out of bounds to Kansas. If you're wondering on the free throw side of things, Samaya Nichols has attempted 140 this year, hit 116. Talia has taken 117 and hit 106, and that's with Talia missing essentially 2 ball games. So pretty even overall in games they've played this year in terms of getting to the line and hitting free throws. Well, Kansas, as they set up on offense, thought they had Elle Evans open for a 3 on the right side, but she is set free by a moving screen that's going to give it back to the Bears. That's Nadira El Tayeb, the veteran who just checked in. Offensive foul gives it back to the Bears, up 11-8. 3 minutes and counting, just over that to play here in the first quarter. Here's a tight handoff from KJ to Talia Scott. She steps into a long jumper and hits. There she gets one to fall after missing her first 4. Talia Scott, who's got off to slow starts in the last 2 Big 12 games, hits a bucket here, and it's a 13-8 Baylor lead. Kansas has not hit a field goal in the last nearly 4 minutes. Here is Brittany Harshaw in off the bench for the Jayhawks, and she simply has the ball taken away by Jana. She's off and running, lobs it to a cutting KJO. Good body control and a good finish. Just before she sailed under the backboard boy, she collected the pass and laid it in.
You know, the surprising thing is you look at Kyla, her left hand is actually her best hand at going in. What a nice finish for Kyla Abraham.
And then Kyla blocks Brittany Harshaw's driving layup attempt, and Kansas fouls Baylor as they pick up the loose ball going back the other way. Well, that was a good sequence there by the Bears. You get a Talia Scott jumper, you get an offensive foul by Kansas, then a Baylor basket in transition, and then a block at the other end.
It's been a a game of turnovers for the Kansas Jayhawks, and Baylor feasting on those. The Jayhawks have turned the ball over 5 times. Baylor has 8 points off of those. In the meantime, Baylor's only turned the ball over once.
That foul, by the way, on Harshaw.
Yeah, and it did lead to some points for Kansas.
Here is Yuting Dunn off a screen, but she gets there by virtue to the officials' determination of Kyla Abraham moving screen. That is Kyla's first and the team's second.
Boy, those moving screens, dagnabbit.
Yep.
Because Baylor had done a really good job to be able to screen to get the ball to Yuting Dunn, but Baylor turns the ball over.
Under 2 minutes to play first quarter. Bears up 15-8 on an 11-1 run. Vandell is back in. She fires to the talented freshman Jalea Davis down low. She misses a shot in close. Got her own rebound. Misses a putback. Got her own rebound again and is fouled on her way up. That was just good stay-with-itness by the freshman player of the freshman of the week in the Big 12.
Yeah, she stayed underneath Kyla Abraham, and Abraham got away with one, being able to jump over, trying to take it out of her hands, but she ended up with a little bit too much body the second time.
That's 2 fouls on Abraham, and so KJ will check back in. Jalea Davis at the line, a 70% free throw shooter on the season. I think they're still trying to learn how to play with Jalea Davis on the floor, and I mean that kind of like we saw with Talia Scott. Yes. This is a 20-point-per-game scorer who played the first 3 games of the year, then dealt with leg pain. She was in a walking boot for a while, and now has played the last 3. She's averaging 20 points per game. She's been fantastic, but the whole team's learning to play around her as her second free throw rattles out. Rebound batted out of bounds as Bugs fights for it with Vandell, and it's Baylor ball.
Well, when you think about Davis, she was the number 19 overall recruit, a 5-star recruit, and also one of the top recruits in the country, and I think the number 1, the highest rated recruit that Kansas has brought in.
Markayla Johnson in for the Bears. Baylor is playing an offense with Van Geitenbeek, Johnson, Bugs, Johnson, and Ting. Yuting Dunn off a curl. Misses the pull-up jumper at the free throw line, around a screen there. And the rebound is Samaya Nichols. Nichols with 3 points on 1 of 2 shooting. She's the 3rd leading scorer in the Big 12. Hands it off to Elle Evans, the dangerous 3-point shooter, who bounces it in a crowd to no one. They weren't on the same page there. Her and Jalea Davis. Ting with the steal. Here comes Jetta Van Geitenbeek with 1:10 to play in the first quarter. Nice dish to a driving KJ, but she can't finish from the right block. Baylor 15, Kansas 9. Just over a minute to play in the opening quarter. Nichols back the other way with it for the Jayhawks. It's Davis with the right-hand dribble, picks it up, harassed by KJ. Time ticking away here as she gives it off to Vandell. Vandell, the freshman, drives to the right baseline, well guarded by Markayla Johnson, and throws it away. Boy, good tough defense there by Markayla Johnson, Lori, on the fellow freshman Vandell.
You know, that's where your calling card is. When the shots aren't falling, you make everything up on defense, and that's what gets you playing time. Great defense there from the freshman Markayla Johnson.
14 seconds between the clocks. Baylor has 20 to shoot here. Up 15-9 late first quarter. Markayla Johnson finds Yuting Dunn, dribbles and lobs it down low. Finds Bugs in close. Bugs lets the defender swoop by and scoops it in with the left hand. She switched hands there as the defenders flew by and laid it in.
What an assist from Yuting Dunn. I thought she was going to shoot the ball, and I think everybody thought that, but she saw a sliver of daylight to Bugs with a great finish. Baylor up 17-9.
Kansas can play for the last shot. They won't. Samaya Nichols misses the runner. Baylor grabs the rebound off and running. It's Markayla Johnson to Dunn for 3, but a travel is called. With 1.2 seconds to go. Somewhere in the transition there between Markayla and Yuting Dunn, there was a travel. Now Kansas is going to try a half-court shot off the mark as the first quarter draws to a close. At the end of 1, Baylor is up by 8, 17-9 on Kansas here. We'll take a timeout. When we return, we'll look at some of the numbers here in this first quarter. I want to say hello to everyone watching on the Courtside Cam, brought to you by Nextlink, reliable high-speed internet for your home or business. Appreciate y'all being with us today. I want to say hi to Bobby watching in Cabo San Lucas. Bobby, I assume you're on vacation. We appreciate you spending some of your vacation with us. Back after this from Foster Pavilion, Bears by 8 at the end of 1 on the Baylor Sports Media Network.
TFNB Your Bank for Life is a longtime supporter of Baylor Athletics. Find out why more Baylor fans are making TFNB their bank for life. Sign up for our Edge checking and get your own custom Baylor Bear debit card. With 6 convenient locations and an award-winning mobile app, banking has never been easier. TFNB, your bank for life. Member FDIC.
It's the wrap-up year sales event at Allen Samuels in Waco. Get the 2025 Ram 1500 Lone Star with 0% for 72 months or 3.9% for 72 months, plus 10% below MSRP and $2,000 in Black Friday select inventory cash. Check out the huge selection of 2026 Ram 2500s, now with $4,000 combined bonus cash allowance, backed by a 10-year, 100,000-mile powertrain warranty. Hurry, these year-end savings won't last long at Allen Samuels.
Come by, let's be friends.
You're listening to Baylor Women's Basketball on the Baylor Sports Media Network.
On 4 of 4 shooting, and Lori, Baylor's defense really turned up the intensity after Kansas had opened up an 8-5 or a 7-4 lead.
Yeah, it was 7-4 at the 6:23 mark, and since that time, only 2 of 4 from the free throw line for Kansas. And if you look at where they are right now in current trends, no field goals in the last 6 minutes and 23 seconds. They turned the ball over in the last 3:45. And as far as field goals go, that last one that they hit, the 3 at the 6:23 mark, they're 1 of 10. From that point onward, and so you got to give some tremendous credit to Baylor playing lockdown defense and forcing Kansas into 7 turnovers that Baylor's turned into 10 points.
Well, Lori, after Dariana Littlepage Buggs picked up the 1,000th rebound of her career, Bella Fauntleroy also had a milestone achievement today with her three-pointer in the first quarter. She moved into the top 5 all-time. Next up in her sights is Juicy Landrum, the 4th all-time leading three-point shooter. So we'll see Bella. I think Bella's going to cross that one before too long. She's 6 away now from Juicy. So, hey, hopefully sooner rather than later.
And especially popping one early. She was, I think, 3 of 7 in the last game, but that was incredibly important that she saw the ball go through the hoop, because that made her play even better the rest of the way down.
Baylor begins on offense to start the second quarter. Talia Scott swings across court to Yu Ting Dunn, a dangerous pass, but Ting skies to grab it. Pushes it back left side to Scott, behind a screen, open for 3, back rim, no. Rebound chased down in the corner. It's tapped back in by KJ, who saves it to Buggs. Buggs swoops beneath the basket, kicks it out for a Yu Ting Dunn 3. Oh, it was online, but just a hair too long.
Baylor is just not able to get the threes to fall, except for that one from Bella earlier. Baylor's 1 for 9 for beyond the arc.
Baylor 17, Kansas 9. Here's Evans cutting to the basket on a backdoor cut from the wing. And on her way there, she's met and fouled by Talia Scott. That is Scott's first, and the first on the Bears in the second quarter. Kansas on offense with Fendell, Davis, Evans, Meister, and Nichols, who plays it in. It's Davis taking the feed at the free throw line, swinging it outside to the three-point shooter Evans. Has the ball knocked away, but she gets it back. Meister tries to find a teammate cutting down low, but nobody is home, and she throws it to the fans behind the baseline.
Well, the turnover woes just continue for Kansas, and you hope that Baylor can continue to take advantage of that.
8 Kansas turnovers, 10 points so far off of those miscues by the Bears. Another opportunity. Scott with a pull-up, and she cashes in, knocking it down. Well, she's missing her threes, Lori. She is 0 of 4, but she is 2 of 3 from inside the arc. Davis gets loose behind KJ and takes the feed from the wing and lays it in. So that's a quick answer by the Jayhawks. Minute 20 into the second quarter. Baylor with the ball in a 19-11 lead. Talia Scott pops a jumper from the top of the key, and she likes that spot right now. Hangs and levitates and knocks it down, and it is 21-11. The Baylor lead is 10, largest of the afternoon. It's Fendell swinging it to Davis, top of the arc, looks for Evans. Instead is going to find Nichols. Nichols looks to feed her on a backdoor cut, and Davis is held by KJ, and that is the first on the Baylor senior, Kirsten Johnson. Second overall on the Bears. Bella Fauntleroy returns for Coach Nikki Collin, giving Dariana Littlepage Buggs a breather. 8 points, 4 rebounds, and an assist for Buggs. Meanwhile, Kelsey Pakili Parks, the 5'11 freshman, the Gatorade Player of the Year in Oklahoma last year, who chose Kansas, is back on the floor. She takes the feed high on the right wing. Meister lobs it down low to Davis. Davis lets KJ swoop by and lays it in.
Right now, just the Talia Scott and Jalea Davis show. Both players have 4 points here in the second quarter.
Scott's going to pop another one left to the key. Well, you heard that splash. She knocked it down. Talia Scott has 8 points on 3 of 9 shooting. Now Davis loose down low again. Baylor gets back defensively but don't want to foul, and she lays it in. Oh, and now we've got a technical foul after that bucket here. Did she say something? Let's take a look. Both teams started back down the floor after that Davis layup, but the official trailing the play immediately with a tech call. And we'll see what that is. I think that's on Jalea Davis. And it's going to be Talia Scott going to the free throw line. That's Davis's second, the team's first, which means Baylor up 23-15 is going to get a pair of free throws by Talia Scott, the top free throw percentage shooter in the Big 12, and is going to get the ball back. Kaylin Elms will check in. Well, Davis must have said something because I didn't see anything physically, any physical happenings that would indicate a tech.
Well, it was Talia Davis, and scoring, and you know, after not scoring for a while, as Talia, again, you could tell, knocked out one that free throw down. But, you know, scoring those 6 points in a row after they couldn't buy a bucket for 6.5 minutes.
Well, the 91% free throw shooting Talia Scott hits them both, and the Bears are back up by 10.
But you certainly don't want to do that, because what did you do? You just gave, you know, the nation's second leading free throw shooter 2 free throws, actually, and then Baylor has the ball back. And so an opportunity at maybe a 4 or a 5 point swing.
7:38 to play before halftime. Baylor with the ball up by 10, try to make it a 4-point possession. Talia Scott lobs it down low to Kaylin Elms. The sophomore just checked in. She dribbles baseline to get away, and you could see her kind of throw an elbow to clear some room, and she's called for the offensive foul. That's Nelms' first, the team's third. Defensively for the Bears, Van Geitenbeek, Scott, Dunn, Fauntleroy, and Nelms. Kansas on offense with Nichols, Meister, Parks, Evans, and Fandel. Nichols quiet so far, but she's averaged 23 points per game against the Bears in her career. She gets downhill on Nelms and flips it in with the right hand.
Boy, that is 4 baskets in this quarter by Kansas, and they're all interior.
Talia Scott pops another mid-range quickly and answers, though.
And then Talia Scott has all 10 of Baylor's points here in the second quarter.
After starting 0 for her first 4, Talia is now 5 of 10, which means that she has hit 5 of her last 6 shots. Meister with a kick out to L. Evans, swings it right side to Parks. She'll unload a 3, no. Offensive rebound by Meister. She's blocked on the way back up. Oh, but Bella is called for the foul. That's Bella's second. 4 on to the Bears. Let's get a look at the replay. Kind of looked from this angle, she had all ball, but I'll admit our angle isn't always the best, and Bella will exit. Buggs is back in for the Bears, and Meister goes to the free throw line. Here's a look, the missed 3. Meister with the offensive rebound, goes back up. Ooh. It looked like all ball on the replay, but Meister hits the first free throw. She'll have one more coming. Meister, just a 56% free throw shooter, a transfer from Indiana. Second free throw is good. Boy, she's a poor free throw shooter, but she hits them on the year numbers-wise, but she hits them both here. And that makes it a 27-19 game. Both teams have scored 10 apiece here in the second quarter. Van Geitenbeek starts left, swoops back right, and has her pocket picked by Parks. Parks takes it all the way for the layup. That's a quick string of 4 straight points by the Jayhawks to cut the Baylor advantage to 6. 6.5 minutes to play before halftime. Pass ahead to Talia Scott from Van Geitenbeek. She's going to unload a 3. Oh, in and out. Rebound tipped around. Dunn comes away with it. Dribbles right wing. Sends it out to Jana Van Geitenbeek, and the Bears will reset. Ting takes the feed. Drives right baseline in a crowd. And a blocking foul goes against Kansas. That'll send the Jayhawks to the line. Ting cut hard on the baseline. Took it into a crowd and came out the better for it. And the foul is on Lily Meister. That's Meister's first and the team's second. And it'll send Dunn to the free throw line, looking for her first scoring of the afternoon. Dunn with 13 points in Baylor's win over the Buffaloes Wednesday night. She's a 67% free throw shooter. First one is up, and she got the roll. One more coming. Baylor 3 of 3 from the line so far. Couple of dribbles. And she knocks them both down. It's really good to visit with Ting after the game on Wednesday, and so impressed to hear someone do an interview like that in their second language. And obviously she's going to get more of those the way she's playing. Oh, Kansas gets an open three as Keeley Parks wide open right corner, but she misses it. Offensive rebound grab by Meister, but she misses on the way back up, and Buggs cleans things up. Baylor back the other way. Talia Scott with a hesitation dribble, finds Buggs at the free throw line, sends it into the corner. Ting is open for three, but it's short. Weak side board knocked out of bounds by the Jayhawks, and that was because that was a good effort for it by Kaylin Elms. She didn't get the rebound, Lori, but she gave Baylor the possession.
Yeah, Kayla got a hand on the basketball and could have corralled that one, but it got knocked out of her hand, so Baylor will get a possession back.
Inbounds to Talia Scott. She hands it off to Van Geitenbeek around the screen, middle of the floor, swooping left. Here comes Talia Scott off the screen. Passes to Buggs, left to the key, just inside the arc, now outside to Dunn. 8 on the shot clock for the Bears. Dunn with the dribble, puts it inside. Last minute, dishes it off to Buggs, and she lays it in. Lori, I think Ting was going to shoot that and saw cutting Buggs, and she just made that play happen in the blink of an eye.
That is her second assist of the game, and I think that's the second time that she's done that by penetrating and getting in there in the paint.
Baylor by 10. Samaya Nichols blocked at the rim. Baylor off and running in transition. Talia Scott to the left wing, leans in, puts up an awkward shot, but she is fouled, and she'll go to the free throw line as that brings us to our second quarter media timeout. Baylor is up by 10 here halfway through the second quarter. The foul on Lily Meister is her second and the team's third. Hey, Bears fans, this basketball season, make Pepsi your go-to game day drink because it's the only drink for basketball watching. Pepsi, that's what I like. Proud partner of Baylor Athletics. Baylor 31, Kansas 21, halfway through the second quarter on the Baylor Sports Media Network.
Bluebonnet Health Services has been caring for Central Texans since 2004. Bluebonnet is locally owned and operated, which allows them the most interaction with patients each and every day, promoting compassionate care and integrity. They provide hands-on attention to their patients through a staff with years of experience. Bluebonnet Health Services provides home health care, supportive care, and hospice. Remember, it's your health, your choice. Ask your doctor for Bluebonnet Health Services.
Slam dunk cash with First Central Credit Union. Create a full court press with First Central's free checking that pays you cash back and refunds fees from other banks' ATMs. Enjoy free reward checking and be the MVP of a new cashback season. It's an easy bank shot. Apply online at firstcentralcu.com. We're your team.
Everything we do, it's true. We do for you.
Eligibility and qualifications apply. Member NCUA.
You're listening to Baylor Women's Basketball on the Baylor Sports Media Network.
For the Bears, if you'll forgive us a moment looking ahead rather than focusing on this game, mention that Baylor is on the road for a two-game, four-night swing in the state of Utah. They'll play the Utah Utes, a very good team, on Wednesday night, and then BYU on Saturday afternoon. Lori, you want to protect the home floor. That's really where I'm going with this. The Big 12 really has a lot of balance. I think Baylor is upper echelon Big 12, but the middle of the Big 12 is pretty solid this year. We saw Colorado, how close they played the Bears on Wednesday night. All these road games are tough. You got to protect your home floor is where I'm going with this, and you did so on Wednesday night. It wasn't pretty, but you got it done, and so far so good. A much better start today for the Bears on the home floor. You really want to take a team like Kansas that's played close but lost games and not give them reasons for hope, and I think so far Baylor has frustrated them after they had that early 7-4 lead.
Now, Kansas is probably the best of the one win in conference teams. They're 1-3, but as we mentioned in the pregame show, those 3 losses were by a total of 13 points, including a buzzer beater there at Iowa State. But you look at the rest of them. I mean, Utah's at 4-1. Arizona State, TCU, Baylor, West Virginia, all at 3-1. BYU is at 3-2. Iowa State, Oklahoma State, Colorado, and Kansas State are 2-2. Kansas State's at 2-3. But everybody's bunched in there, and especially when you've got to hit the road and you do those long swings. We know what those are like. We saw Baylor do an 0-2 before, but we've also seen them do a 2-0 road swing.
Talia Scott at the free throw line out of the timeout. 2 of 2 so far. First one is up, and it is good. Talia missed her first 4 field goal attempts, Lori, but then she hit her first mid-range pull-up, and then a flurry of those got her in double digits. And now the free throw line, where we often see her make noise, and she's 3 of 3 from the stripe. And now 4 of 4. She hits them both. 14 points, Lori, after she had 0 against Iowa State in the first half on Saturday, and then just 2 against Colorado on Wednesday. Nice to see her really get going.
You know, I think she just said, forget the 3 ball. I'm going to find that spot inside the arc and start draining those really good jump shots that she's got.
Baylor by 12, largest lead of the game. Kansas with the basketball with 10 seconds to shoot. Evans feeds Nichols, who's well wide on a 3-point basket. Weak side rebound goes out of bounds to the Bears, who will get it back. An opportunity to really keep your foot on the gas here, Lori, in this second half of the second quarter.
That's
Baylor has scored the last 6 points.
Yeah, it's Baylor's largest lead at 12 points.
Van Geitenbeek swings it to Yuting Dunn, high left side, looking inside. It's Van Geitenbeek pushing it right side to Talia Scott. Kansas briefly with a little double team now. She retreats along the arc. 10 seconds to shoot. Pass to Van Geitenbeek, who has yet to take a, no, I beg your pardon, Jenny is 0 of 2. But she feeds Talia Scott, whose 3 is in and out, but KJ is there waiting to push it back up and in.
Well, there's, it looks like, I couldn't tell if they went to a zone defense or kind of a box and one.
It kind of looked like a box and one, maybe.
And, but Talia got open, but KJ was really good on the other side.
Samaya Nichols misses a pull-up in the lane. She's been quiet so far, and the Bears come away with it once again. Under 4 minutes to play in the first half. Baylor with the ball and a game-high 14-point lead. Step back 3, Talia Scott in and out. Boy, she's missed her last 2 that have been combined all the way down, but both times they've been spit back out by the bucket. 3.5 to play in the opening half of basketball. Here is Fandel wanting to drive, kicking it out to Ndira El-Tayeb, who checked in on the dead ball. Here's Nichols on the drive, getting inside. Baylor gets their hands up defensively. She sends it in the corner to Fandel, who knocks down a 3. Just the second made 3-pointer by the Jayhawks. Neither team have been especially effective downtown so far, a combined 3 of 20. Then Geitenbeek hooks it over to Scott. Baylor up by 11, 35-24, just over 3 minutes to play in the opening half. Scott bounces it at the free throw line to KJ, turns and faces the bucket, hooks it outside to Dunn, catch and shoot 3, a little strong. Rebound picked off the floor by Parks. She's going to bring it off herself.
3 balls just are not falling today. Baylor 1 of 3, or 1 of 13, excuse me.
Parks dribbles into a 3, misses, rebound loose, chased down by Darion Littlepage-Buggs, who has 10 points and 7 rebounds in the first half, well on her way to another double-double. Talia Scott, left-hand dribble, middle of the floor, calls for Yuting Dunn to move up, finds a cutting Buggs. Oh, kicked it out, thinking that Yuting Dunn was a little further on the left wing than she was, and it's thrown out of bounds.
Oh, I think that, I know she's talking, coach is talking to Dunn right there, but boy, that's a usual shot where it's a catch-and-shoot jumper from the logo.
Like what they were trying to do there, you just got to make sure you're on the same page
because
there.
Baylor has, they've got 8 assists on 14 made baskets. Actually, they were assisting on 7 of 8 in the first quarter.
Here is Fandel feeding it down to El-Tayeb, who has a height advantage on Yuting Dunn, and she spins it up and in to cut the lead back to single digits for the Bears at 35-26, 2:11 to play first half. There's a bouncer inside from Talia Scott in a crowd. Dangerous pass. It's out of bounds. It'll stay with the Bears with 22 to shoot and 2:07 to play with the clock stopped late first half. Baylor is 14 of 34 from the floor. They've held Kansas to 10 of 26. Jana will play it in from the baseline, looking, and she swings it to Buggs. Buggs to the free throw line, kicks it out to Nelms. Open 3, perfect. There's a 3-pointer knockdown, and Kayla Nelms hits her first field goal attempt. The lead is back to 12 at 38-26.
She's really good at that catch and shoot 3, and Buggs got the assist this time.
Minute 45 to play, first half. El Tayeb has it top of the key. Bounces it down low to Nichols. Leans inside, draws the foul as she misses the right-hand scoop. But she has a chance to earn a pair from the line. She got deep position in there, and as Bugs has called for the foul, that is her first and the team's fifth. She has good leverage. You know, she's not a big player like you see some in the post, but she's got some strength, you can tell, and she has good leverage in there. And she was just able to kind of keep her feet planted, weave the top of her body around until she saw an opening. And she will go to the line.
She gets to the free throw line a lot, and that's one of the reasons why.
She hits the first, and one more is coming. She's got 6 points on 2 of 7 shooting, 2 of 3 from the line, 2 boards, and 5 assists. Second free throw got the roll, and it's a 10-point Baylor lead, 38-28. Jenna Van Geitenbeek, 2 assists and a rebound here in the first half. Gives it off to Scott, high right wing. They're going to feed it left side to Dunn. Dunn, right-hand dribble to the middle of the floor, swings it back left to KJ, back across to Dunn. Quick pass from the free throw line, extra pass in the corner. Talia Scott wide open. Oh, but her three is short. They're getting good looks, just having trouble knocking them down here from beyond the arc tonight. Here's Laya Kanesu just returned, feeding to El Tayeb, outside to Nichols. A minute 18 to play in the first half. Nichols gets inside and finishes.
Boy, that hesitation dribble she had, she just got herself some space and got in, and Nichols is down.
She absorbed some contact in the face, it appears. She kind of bounced in a crowd and laid it in, and somewhere in the process she took a little punishment. There was no foul called, and Brandon Schneider's going to go out to have a look at her, and they may take a look at this. She's in some pain. She nods, I think that's, are you all right? And
well, it hurts. You get popped in the nose, even if it's just the slight thing.
And that's what it was. They're checking to see. I think that was inadvertent there by Bugs. You look, Bugs came back down, and as Nichols was turning back around after the layup to go back down the floor, Bugs came down, kind of looks like the bottom of her elbow caught Nichols' face as she was looking up. And they're taking a look. And I don't think it was anything untoward.
I mean, Bugs just got the ball on the way down.
She did. In fact, if anything, Nichols sort of invaded her space coming back in, which that's just a lot of bodies and players trying to do what they're intending to do. But you do hate to see that she took that extracurricular, but I don't think it's anything that's going to go against the Bears, but we'll see.
The thing is that Baylor was up by 14, 35-21, and they got a three from Kayla that got the lead back up to 12, but since in a little mini run from Samaya Nichols, who has 4 straight points, that got the lead back into single digits. Baylor up 38-30.
Well, they are taking a long look at this. Gives both teams a breather. You know, this has been a kind of quietly physical game. Not physical like you see a lot of fouls, but just some kind of hard-nosed basketball in there. A lot of screening, a lot of when the ball goes in the post, a lot of bodies around. And tell us what happened.
After review, the play is incidental contact. Baylor's ball.
Almost dismissive. That's incidental contact.
Yeah,
and it was.
Yes, you got to look at it, especially if somebody like Talia Scott or Samaya Nichols, gets popped like that. You're big players, but that was a great move from Samaya Nichols. Again, that hesitation dribble, that got her that clearance to be able to get by Bugs, and that's hard to do, especially when you're going to the rim.
Looks like maybe another box and one defense here from the Jacks. Maybe more traditional zone there as they swing to whoever has the ball. Under a minute to play first half. Baylor with the ball in a 38-30 lead. 12 seconds to shoot. Van Geitenbeek bounces to Bugs. Right elbow, kicks it into the corner. Talia Scott all alone for three, and she's not going to miss that one. There's her first three of the day after missing her first 8. The Baylor lead is back to 11, and Talia has 17 first half points.
Shoot, and Bugs with her 3rd assist, making sure she got the ball in the heart of that zone out to Talia in the corner.
Oh, good defensive effort by Kayla Nelms as El Tayeb was looking for a teammate to pass to. Nelms just hustled. She elevated, knocked the ball away, and then going for the loose ball, El Tayeb fouled her. Good job there by Kayla Nelms. Good defensive effort there. That foul on El Tayeb is her second in the team's 4th.
Well, Kayla didn't play in the last game, but she's earning some minutes here by pursuing the basketball, getting a 3, and then getting another important or causing getting a steal on the personal foul by Altaya.
10 to shoot for the Bears. A long three by Talia Scott is good. Kansas can play for the last shot of the first half. Down to 5, down to 4. Shot clock dark. Nichols hunting for an opening. Good defense by the Bears. She doesn't have much room, but somehow lays it in. Did she get it off before the first half buzzer? I believe they're counting it, and we will see if they're going to go to the review monitor and see if that is good or not. Actually, I think they are not counting it at the moment, but they're going to check.
Well, the Baylor bench said real quickly that it wasn't good, and it was pretty much up and down.
Previous
the
plays
bench.
under review.
And I think
on
you
the
got to
floor
take a
is
look at that.
no good basket. That plays under review.
Right now, it's 44-30 Baylor at halftime. That three by Talia gave her 20 first half points, and they're taking a look to see if she got this three off in time or not. It is no good. She did not get it off in time, so that is the score at intermission.
And that was the call on the floor, too, by the officials, is that the basket was no good, and they were checking to make sure. But, boy, Talia Scott, all of a sudden, Baylor was just up by 8, and, single digits matters. But then Talia Scott, off an assist from Buggs and an assist from Dunn, and within 30 seconds, she scores 6 quick points. When she gets hot, she gets smoking.
The 2025-26 women's basketball season is presented by Central National Bank, proudly serving Central Texans in Waco, Temple, and Austin. Bank different, Bank Central, Central National Bank. One of their ads is playing on the video board here, one of the fraud protection spots with Darion the Little Page Bucks. They have a new spot that debuted this week. Coach Nikki, people sometimes have to transfer money, Lori. Coaches don't always love the word transfer, but Coach Nikki has a new spot out this week, so check that out on Central National Bank or Baylor Women's Basketball social media.
It is just as funny as last year's.
It's a great group of spots, and this one is a deserving member of the member of the canon. Baylor by 14 at halftime, 44-30. We'll take a timeout and come back with the First Central Credit Union postgame show, stats, scores, and more when we return to Foster Pavilion on the Baylor Sports Media Network.
Want to be the energy our Bears need? Go gold with Baylor Athletics this season and be the gold factor across each of our sports. Wear exclusive Go Gold apparel from the Baylor Bookstore and the Spirit Shop at upcoming Go Gold dates. Stay up to date on all your golden opportunities to create an electric home atmosphere by visiting BaylorBears.com/Go Gold. Sic 'em Bears.
See why Green Eye Associates is voted best in Waco year after year. Enjoy exceptional service and care from Dr. Leanne Green alongside her dedicated optometrist and staff. Receive trustworthy insights on your eye health, enjoy the impressive variety of contacts and eyewear, and work with the most experienced optical team in Waco. Don't miss the new state-of-the-art dry eye therapies that rejuvenate the eyes and face with safe, non-invasive treatments to restore comfort and quality of life. Green Eye Associates, official optometrist of Baylor Athletics.
We don't just build trucks. We build something that's meant to last. That's why the 2026 Toyota Tundra isn't just built in Texas. It's built by Texas, which means the Tundra is built to tough it out and to take it easy. Built to carry tradition and to make new ones. Built to roll with the punches and to go the distance. Built stronger, built louder, built here. The 2026 Toyota Tundra. Built in Texas, driven everywhere. Test drive at your local Toyota dealer or visit Toyota.com today.
Right now, qualified buyers get 2.99% APR financing for 72 months, plus $1,000 of Venture cash on a new 2026 Tundra. Toyota, let's go places. Feature availability differs based on trim. See Toyota.com for offer details. Offer available in select states and ends 2/2/26.
You're listening to live coverage of Baylor women's basketball. Now, it's time for the Nissan Halftime Show. Brought to you by Central National Bank, proud season sponsor of Baylor women's basketball. Texas Farm Bureau Insurance, championship partner of Baylor Athletics. Visit Texas Farm Bureau Insurance online to find a local agent today. Nissan, innovation that excites. Libman, America's trusted brand name in cleaning. Premier ER and Urgent Care. Feel better now. Stay tuned as we break down the first half. Check in on scores and more. All coming up on the Baylor Sports Media Network.
This game, Baylor got off to a slow start, shooting 38% and 1 of 7 from beyond the arc in the first quarter, but the second quarter was much better. Baylor shot 53%, despite still not being as hot as they'd like to be from downtown, although they finished the second quarter 3 of 11 in that frame. But Baylor over 50% in the second quarter, and that's a big part of why they lead by 14 at intermission, 44-30, as we welcome you into the Nissan halftime report. The Nissan innovation that excites. Let's take a look at the first half stats now in this one. Baylor outshoots Kansas 45% to 41%. Neither team great from beyond the arc. The Jayhawks 2 of 8, 25%. Baylor 4 of 18, that is 22%. Baylor 6 of 6 from the line, perfect tally there. Kansas 6 of 8. Jayhawks turned it over 3 more times to the Bears, 9 to the Bears 6, and Baylor converted them into 6 more points, 15 to the Jayhawks 9. Baylor good on the glass, 22-16 edge, including a 9-4 lead in offensive rebounds, leading to 8 second chance points. Kansas has 3 second chance opportunities. The Baylor bench outscored the Kansas bench 7-5 in the first half. Baylor fell behind 7-4 early, but led 17-9 at the end of one. And after a 14-point lead had been whittled down to 8, Baylor pushed it right back with a 6-0 run. All of those points came in on Talia Scott 3-pointers in the last minute to open up the 44-30 halftime lead. For the Jayhawks, 16 of their 30 points have been scored by 2 players. Samaya Nichols, third leading scorer in the Big 12, has 9 points on 3 of 8 shooting. Baylor's done a nice job on her. Jalea Davis, a 20-point-per-game freshman in 6 contests, has 7 points on 3 of 6 shooting in the first half. She was hit with a technical foul after a bucket. 4 points by Lily Meister and a team-high 5 rebounds. No one else on the Jayhawks has more than 3. Samaya Nichols leads the Jayhawks, and in fact, all passers with 5 assists. For the Bears, 30 of their 44 points have come from 2 players. Talia Scott missed her first 5 shots, but since then has hit 7 of 11. And after missing her first 8 3-pointers, has hit her last 2. She has 20 points on 7 of 16 shooting to go along with 2 rebounds. Dariana Little-Page bugs perfect from the field, 5 of 5, 10 points and 7 boards. She needs just 3 more rebounds to pick up what would be her 9th double-double of the season. After that, everyone has chipped in a little, just about. 4 points for Kirsten Johnson to go along with 3 rebounds. 3 points apiece by Kaylin Elms and Bella Fauntleroy. Bella moved into a tie for 5th place all-time and made 3 pointers with her made bucket. Kyla Abraham has 2 points and an assist. Markayla Johnson and Jana Van Geitenbeek played but did not score. Markayla Johnson has a rebound. Jana Van Geitenbeek has 2 rebounds and an assist. Blocked shots for the Bears, 2 of them by Kyla Abraham, Talia Scott, and Kirsten Johnson. Each have 1. Baylor always good in that category. First in the Big 12 and third in the nation at 7.2 blocks per game. It all adds up to a 44-30 lead at halftime. Lori, Granny basketball with another good show here at intermission.
Oh, Granny basketball, the Waco 6 shooters. It's a fun game. They play with 1920s rules. And Baylor's, or Waco's have got a lot of Baylor. Linda Davis, who played for Baylor back in the 70s, is one of those. She's a great point guard out there. But for Granny basketball, the Waco 6 shooters are just, they're one of the nation's very best. It's a lot of fun to watch, and go support them as well.
Yeah, great. Always a good show when they come out here at halftime. We appreciate them being here today. Baylor 44, Kansas 30 at intermission. This is the Nissan Halftime Report. Nissan innovation that excites. Lori will take a look at other Big 12 scores when we return to Foster after this here on the Baylor Sports Media Network. Laura.
Want to be the energy our Bears need? Go gold with Baylor Athletics this season and be the gold factor across each of our sports. Wear exclusive Go Gold apparel from the Baylor Bookstore and the Spirit Shop at upcoming Go Gold dates. Stay up to date on all your golden opportunities to create an electric home atmosphere by visiting BaylorBears.com/Go Gold. Sic 'em Bears.
Hi, I'm Jim Turner at Jim Turner Chevrolet in McGregor. As we celebrate our 10th year anniversary, I want to say thank you to all of our customers. Our dealership is more than a business to me. That's why when you come see us for a reliable new Chevy or award-winning service, we treat you like family. Come see our new collision center, now open to serve you even better for many years to come. Enjoy the game, then come see us at Jim Turner Chevrolet in McGregor. Together, let's drive.
Hellberg Barbecue is a family-owned business started here in Waco, Texas, and proud to serve the local area. They love to cater all kinds of events, big and small. Serving Baylor and its families is one of their favorite things, and they even ship barbecue nationwide. Check them out while here in Waco or online and support one of Waco's local barbecue restaurants, Hellberg Barbecue. Salt, pepper, and a whole lot of prayer. Proudly serving Texas since 2007, Magnolia Realty is a full-service brokerage and a trusted neighbor, bridging expert industry knowledge with integrity and kindness. Known for their award-winning agents, Magnolia Realty understands the dynamics of making the real estate journey your own and the importance of trust from contract to close. You can find their local agents here in Waco and across the state, including in Dallas, Fort Worth, Austin, San Antonio, and Temple. To get connected and learn more, visit magnoliarealty.com. Here's to home.
You're listening to Baylor Women's Basketball on the Baylor Sports Media Network.
Kansas at the half by 14. It's Baylor 44, Kansas 30. Taking a quick look at scores of games that are underway now in the Big 12 Conference. 19 seconds left in Stillwater, and Oklahoma State up by 7 over Colorado, 60-53. Number 11, Iowa State hosting West Virginia, and the Mountaineers have a 1-point lead at half, 40-39. Coming up later tonight, Arizona State will be at number 13, TCU. All of the road games, or the road teams won yesterday. BYU at Houston, the Cougars won 79-64. Texas Tech over Cincinnati, 71-60. UCF beat Arizona 58-55. And Utah, a winner at Kansas State, 80-73. Again, our score at the half, it's Baylor 44, Kansas 30. We'll be back to get you ready for the start of the second half. You're listening to Baylor Women's Basketball on the Baylor Sports Media Network.
Today we have two very special guests on our program, introducing Lem and Lime.
Hello.
For Starry Lemon Lime Soda.
Thanks for having us.
What is Starry Lemon Lime Soda?
It's a crisp, clear burst of lemon lime flavor, and it's caffeine-free.
Between us, one of you must be a little more important to Starry than the other. Who is it?
We're both important.
So we could just as easily be Starry Lime Lemon Soda.
No, that doesn't sound right.
Oh, I like it.
So you saying hip-hop could be hop-hip?
Works for me.
Starry Lemon Lime Soda. Starry hits different.
Bluebonnet Health Services has been caring for Central Texans since 2004. Bluebonnet is locally owned and operated, which allows them the most interaction with patients each and every day, promoting compassionate care and integrity. They provide hands-on attention to their patients through a staff with years of experience. Bluebonnet Health Services provides home health care, supportive care, and hospice. Remember, it's your health, your choice. Ask your doctor for Bluebonnet Health Services.
Are you tired of slow internet? Are data caps and throttling making it impossible to stream your favorite shows and movies? If so, it sounds like it's time to switch to NextLink Internet. With NextLink, there are no data caps and no throttling, just super fast internet speeds, up to 1 gig over wireless in some areas. Plus, NextLink is an official partner of Baylor Athletics. So don't wait another minute. Give NextLink a call or go online to nextlinkinternet.com to see what special offers are available to you. Blazing fast internet is just a click or phone call away. Sic 'em, Bears!
Kids can now join the Baylor Cub Club, the official kids club of Baylor Athletics, presented by Green Eye Associates. Fans 12 and under can register for the low cost of $25 and gain exclusive benefits and access to Baylor Athletics events. Members receive free admission to select events, exclusive giveaway access, and their own membership package. To register your Cub, please visit BaylorBears.com/Cub Club. Sign your Cub up today.
Fox Sports Radio, 93.9 K230 CK and KRMX HD3 Waco.
You've been listening to the Nissan Halftime Show on the Baylor Sports Media Network. Brought to you by TFNB, the official local bank of Baylor Athletics. Texas Farm Bureau Insurance, championship partner of Baylor Athletics. Visit Texas Farm Bureau Insurance online to find a local agent today. Nissan, innovation that excites. Lidman, America's trusted brand name in cleaning. Premier ER and Urgent Care. Feel better now. Stay tuned as we get set for the second half action with the Baylor Bears. As we rejoin Derek Smith live from the booth, bringing you the second half of action and more. All coming up on the Baylor Sports Media Network.
Pavilion, as we are just about ready for the start of the third quarter, a first half that saw Baylor lead by as many as 14, and that happens to be where the lead is at the moment at 44-30. Lori, again, I'll say, this is a Kansas team that has a lot of talent. They have yet to really put it together. They're frustrated after 3 very close, hard-fought losses in the Big 12. This is not a half to let them hang around. Now, Kansas is good enough. I'm not saying I think the Bears are going to go up by 20 or 30, although they could, but don't let them, be playing from 2 or 3 or 4 points behind. Let them make a run early. See if you can just keep this where it is or hopefully extend it.
Now, you had a couple of players in Davis and Meister who had 2 fouls each, and Evans didn't play much either, but she's back out there, and she's a deadly 3-point shooter, and if they execute, they can get back into it real quick.
Jayhawks with the basketball and their original starters on the floor to start the second half. Original starters out there for the Bears as well. Baylor up by 14. Sanaya Nichols had the ball knocked in the backcourt, but she chases it back down. Angles left of the lane and swings it out to Elle Evans, who had just 1 first-half bucket. Evans drives inside, lost the ball. Jana hustling after it. It's still loose, and Evans undercutting Talia Scott, trying to get to the loose ball, is called. And then Evans, though, got the worst end of that. I think she fell face first on the floor, and maybe Scott rolled over her, and she might have a bit of a nosebleed there. I hope it's just a nosebleed.
Once you bleed, it was down quickly. She was out.
Yeah, there's quite a bit on the floor there, and you can see why. Anytime you get a nosebleed, we all know how that can be. And she went to chasing. That's a tough deal because she. Oh man, we just saw the replay. She was falling to the floor, going after the loose ball. That was just good hustle on her part. Then Talia Scott just kind of fell over and kind of landed on her head and pushed her head down into the ground with the body inadvertent. And they're reviewing it to make sure there was no ill intent, which there was not. But they're reviewing right now, and we've got a media timeout as they review. So we're going to take it right now. The 2025-26 women's basketball season is presented by Central National Bank. Proudly serving Central Texans in Waco, Temple, and Austin. Bank different. Bank Central. Central National Bank. 25 seconds gone, second quarter. We've got a replay review. Baylor up by, in the second half, rather, I should say. Baylor up by 14 on the Baylor Sports Media Network.
When you strive for greatness, you have a target on your back. When it comes to finances, we're all targets for scammers. But with the right game plan, you can protect yourself. Don't get faked by fraud.
Here's a tip. Don't buy from social media ads unless the ad is from a verified company. When you click those ads, you open yourself up to fraud. If it seems too good to be true, it almost always is.
This message is brought to you by Central National Bank.
At Magnolia Realty, award-winning agents set the bar for professionalism and excellence. Whether you're looking to buy or sell, Magnolia's full-service brokerage will guide you through every step of the process with expert industry knowledge. Their agents are fully invested in learning your story and customizing the real estate experience to suit your stage of life. Magnolia Realty has been serving cities across Texas since 2007, including Waco, Dallas, Fort Worth, Austin, San Antonio, and Temple. To get connected or learn more, visit magnoliarealty.com.
You're listening to Baylor Women's Basketball on the Baylor Sports Media Network.
Third quarter. We've got a replay review after Jana Van Guyton knocked the ball away from Elle Evans. The scrum for the loose ball saw a foul called on freshman Jalea Davis for Kansas, her third and the team's first. But as Elle Evans, who had the ball knocked away, was chasing after it, falling on the floor, Talia Scott tumbled on top of her, pressing her face hard onto the court and drawing a lot of blood from a nosebleed on the floor. And obviously, I think Elle Evans a bit stunned, as I think any of us would be. And right now, they're reviewing that play to make sure there's no technical foul. And I think we're going to get a official description, but we have not heard so yet. In the meantime, they are still cleaning the blood off the floor there at the edge of the three-point arc. You feel for Elle Evans and hope that she is all right. That was a very unpleasant looking play that she was on the wrong end of.
I know that not only hurts, but she was able to get up, and Kansas's staff got up there real quickly to her with a towel, and she went off into the side and the back part of the Boston Pavilion to now everybody's got to get back to playing after that. And the one thing that did happen is that I think it's the second time that Evans had the basketball inside the paint, and Jana Van Guyton was just digging at the ball and got it away.
Well, they never made an official announcement, but obviously the play stays as called a foul on Kansas' Jalea Davis. So the Bears get it back, and now we'll get their first crack on offense here in the third quarter. Van Guyton finds a cutting Bella Fauntleroy on the right edge. Samaya Nichols guarding her. Bella around a screen, pops a contested jumper and leaves it short from the left side of the free throw line. Nichols with the rebound, and here come the Jayhawks back the other way. Davis, left side, swings it to Fandel. Fandel, the freshman, hit a three in the first half. One of two by the Jayhawks. She passed it to no one, not on the same page with Davis, and Baylor steals it. Loose ball as they swing it to the left wing. Chased down by Dariana Little-Page-Buggs on an errant pass a bit from Talia Scott. Minute gone, third quarter. Jana Van Guyton has it with a left-hand dribble to the top of the key. Tried to bounce it to a cutting Dariana Little-Page-Buggs, but Nichols got a hand on it and stole it. Nichols is going to try to take it all the way herself. Lost the ball in a crowd. Saves it to Jalea Davis, who finishes in close. Baylor went chasing after her there as she lost control of the ball, but when she regained it, she was able to find Davis down low to cut the Baylor lead to 12 at 44-32. Back the other way for the Bears on offense. Fauntleroy pushes it middle of the floor to Van Guyton. Van Guyton around a screen. Left edge of the arc, picks up the dribble and then fires it to no one. Threw it right off the shoulder of Davis, and Davis steals. Davis is going to try to take it all the way herself, but Jana ties her up. Good effort there by Jana Van Guyton after the turnover to stay with Davis. And when Davis brought the ball around with both hands, Jana just put a hand on top of it and smothered it.
Yeah, I think for Davis, what she ended up doing was bringing the basketball down on her head. I think she had a size advantage. I think because Jana got back so quickly, I think she just had the right position. Davis didn't want to pick up her fourth foul, but when she put the ball down, Jana just put her hands on it. Luckily, Baylor had the possession arrow in its favor.
So Bears back on offense. Here's Talia Scott angling to the left wing, under the bucket, finds Bell in a crowd. Here's a kickoff to Jana, steps into a three. It's off the side rim, no. Rebound chased down into the corner, and Buggs tries to save it, but throws it off of Talia Scott and out of bounds.
Look, this is not the way that Baylor wanted to start.
Luckily, Kansas only shaved 2 points off the lead so far, but they've got an opportunity for more as they come back the other way. 44-32, Baylor with the lead, Kansas with the ball. Jalea Davis wants to drive inside on Kyla Abraham. She does, draws contact and pushes it off glass and in for a chance at a three-point play. Kyla Abraham just checked in. Davis attacked her, bounced off of her from the contact, and then finished with a little flip off glass.
That's Abraham's third foul.
Well, Abraham had her minute was limited in the first half because of foul trouble, and she immediately picks up her third. That's the first on the Bears in the third quarter. Jerry Davis, 70% from the line. It spins out, hits the floor. Meister, though, with the offensive rebound, grabbing the loose ball. Kicks it out to Park. She's going to load a three. Blocked by Kyla Abraham. Grabbed by Meister. She finds Fandel, whose three is in and out. Contested rebound. Buggs grabs it in a crowd. Baylor dodges a bullet there. Back the other way. Up by 10. Shanna hacked on her way to the bucket by Samaya Nichols. She'll go to the free throw line. Good strong drive there by Jana Van Geitenbeeks, and Samaya Nichols had no recourse but to foul. Her second, team second, and Jana will go to the free throw line as Kaylin Nelms will return for the Bears. She had a first half three. Abraham has had some effectiveness in this game with a block and an assist, but limited by in limited minutes because of the foul trouble. Jana at the line. First free throw rattles out. She's got one more coming. Scoreless so far with a couple of assists and a rebound. Jana, 75% free throw shooter. And she's got one more, trying to push the lead to 11. And succeeds in so doing. Baylor will get back defensively with Van Geitenbeek, Scott, Fauntleroy, Buggs, and Nelms. Kansas on offense with Nichols, Knessa, Fandel, Davis, and Meister. Nichols on a handoff to Knessa. Feeds it to Davis outside the Nichols beyond the arc. Baylor up by 11. Just about 3 minutes gone third quarter. Fandel slips past Jana Van Geitenbeek, drives inside. Good defense by Kaylin Nelms to strip her the ball. She stays with it, though. They find Meister up top, whose three is in and out. In a crowd, a fingertip rebound by Dariana Littlepage Buggs, and she's now one away from a double-double. Scott, a contested three, airballs it. Rebound, though, saved out of bounds by Buggs, out to Bella Fauntleroy. Another look at it for the Bears. Jana Van Geitenbeek with it on the right side. Around to Nelms' screen. She's open, top of the key, and buries the jumper.
She passed up that jumper and turned the ball over earlier in this quarter. Glad to see that Jana was not going to pass up that open look from the free throw line.
Nice pop off the dribble for Jana for her first field goal. It's a 13-point Baylor lead, 47-34. Nichols high on the left side, swings it to Fandel. Perimeter right to Knessa. Knessa swings it down low to Davis, spinning in the lane, open and close to the basket for the layup.
All six of Kansas's points here in the second half.
She leads the Jayhawks with 13, and really all of those points have come in two bursts. Now a whistle as there's contact between Knessa and Scott. And Knessa fouls Scott coming off the screen. That is like Knessa's first foul. And that's the third on the Jayhawks.
Sure, Talia wasn't shooting.
Yeah. I like where your head's at on this, Lori. Scott with 20 first half points. She got off to a slow start, but has hit 7 of her last 13 field goals. Talia Scott looking for an opening, is going to float it to Buggs, perimeter left, into the corner to Jana. Jana thought about a three, crosses over on the dribble. They float it to Buggs at the free throw line. Nice kick out. Jana's got a good look at a three, but it's a bit short. Rebound in a crowd off the weak side, grabbed by Kayla Nelms, and Kayla fighting for it. They still call a jump ball, giving it back to the Jayhawks. You know, I'll still give Kayla Nelms a lot of credit there. She wanted that basketball.
She was doing everything she could, but she was kind of sandwiched there, trying to get the basketball out, but boy, she was battling for that offensive rebound.
47-36, Baylor with the lead, Kansas with possession. Meister finds Fandel at the free throw line, nearly walked with it, and then threw it out of bounds. Did anyone from Baylor touch it? No, they didn't. They get the result. Yeah. Looked like a real travel there, but she throws it away, so you get the ball either way. By the way, that last rebound, Colin Pirtle tells us that Dariana Littlepage Buggs has tied Maggie Davis-Stinnett. Baylor great for 8th all-time on the rebounding.
Boy, she does it so fast.
Pass bounces off of Talia Scott, but it pops right back to Bella Fauntleroy, and then Bella has a bounce back to her, knocked out of bounds. Bears will keep it with 13 seconds on the shot clock. 5:21 to play in third quarter. Up by a 47-36 score. With a little flip back in to Jana Van Geitenbeek. Shot clock at single digits. Jana thought about a step back three. Now she's in trouble. Picked up the dribble. Floats it out to Nelms with 4 to shoot. With 3. Finds Bella. She's going to have to unload a long 3 that's short front rim. Talia Scott keeps the rebound alive, but Canessa comes out of there with it for the Jayhawks. They're off and running in transition. Good defense by the Bears to get back and keep them from a good look at 3. Canessa, though, spots up wide open in the right corner. However, she's too strong, and Kayla Nelms collects the weak side rebound. More than halfway through the third quarter, here's a transition 3 by Van Geitenbeek, but she misses off the dribble, and the rebound by Handel leads to a fast break opportunity for the Jayhawks. And as the Bears try to tie up the ball, Jalea Davis hits the deck, and a foul called against the Bears, bringing us to our third quarter media timeout. That's going to go against Jana Van Geitenbeek. It's her first, the team's second. The fans don't like it. We have to see a replay, Lori. That was beneath the bucket in a lot of bodies, but Jana was called for a foul on that Jalea Davis break. Well, neither team off to a good scoring start here in the third quarter. Kansas has scored 6. Baylor has scored 3 in 5 minutes and 19 seconds, but still, the Bears are up by 11, 47-36, with 4:41 to play in the third. The 2025-26 women's basketball season is presented by Central National Bank. Proudly serving Central Texans in Waco, Tickle, and Austin. Think different. Think Central. Central National Bank. 4:41 to play in the third. Bears by 11 on the Baylor Sports Media Network.
TFNB Your Bank for Life is a longtime supporter of Baylor Athletics. Find out why more Baylor fans are making TFNB their bank for life. Sign up for our Edge checking and get your own custom Baylor Bear debit card. With 6 convenient locations and an award-winning mobile app, banking has never been easier. TFNB, your bank for life. Member FDIC.
Today we have 2 very special guests on our program. Introducing Lem and Lime.
Hello.
For Starry Lemon Lime Soda.
Thanks for having us.
What is Starry Lemon Lime Soda?
It's a crisp, clear burst of lemon lime flavor, and it's caffeine-free.
Between us, one of you must be a little more important to Starry than the other. Who is it?
We're both important.
So it could just as easily be Starry Lime Lemon Soda.
No, that doesn't sound right.
Oh, I like it.
So you saying hip-hop could be hop-hip?
Works for me.
Starry Lemon Lime Soda. Starry hits different.
You're listening to Baylor Women's Basketball on the Baylor Sports Media Network.
7, Kansas 36. Baylor just 1 of 7 from the field so far in the third quarter with 3 turnovers, but they've turned Kansas over 4 times and held them to 3 of 7 in shooting. Baylor 1 of 2 from the line. Kansas 0 of 1. So despite Baylor really off to a poor offensive start in the third quarter, much like the second quarter against Colorado on Wednesday night, Baylor really hasn't let Kansas dig too much into that lead. And hopefully they don't allow it any further, but defense can cover a multitude of sins. We've seen that on Wednesday night. And so far it's been so here in the third quarter for the Bears. Although Kansas really got free throws coming into the miss.
Baylor can catch fire real quickly. It just came out real flat for the first 5 minutes and 19 seconds. Not really taking good care of the basketball. The passes haven't been really crisp. But what Baylor's got to do right now is just pick it up on the defensive end and see if they can just catch a little bit of fire.
Out of the timeout, the Bears will take the floor with Van Geitenbeek, Scott, Fauntleroy, Bugs, and Nelms. Kansas with possession. They're going to play it in from out of bounds. That was not a shooting foul. And that'll be Nichols, Vandell, Davis, Meister, and Canessa. Inbound to Meister, who swings it top of the key to Davis, guarded by Nelms. Outside to the fellow freshman Vandell. On the drive, has the dribble taken away. Just a straight-up steal there by Bella Fauntleroy. That's a turnover for the Jayhawks. Baylor with an opportunity to score off it as Yu-Ting Dunn prepares to check in on the next dead ball. Mid-range jumper by Talia Scott. Did someone get a hand on it? It was well short. Kaylin Elms is short on the putback, and the Jayhawks will come back the other way. Pass ahead to Knesset. She's going to catch and shoot and nearly airball a three. Just got a little bit of the back rim the other way around. Boy, Bugs stumbling down, nearly strips the ball away from Jana, but Jana laughing is able to maintain possession.
Jana took a rebound away from Bugs.
Yep. Here's a pass down low in the paint to Nelms off glass, too hard in a crowd. Rugged rebound inside, got it back. Baylor hooks it out to Bella. Here's a three, and she smashes it in. Good hard rebounding inside by Nelms. Leads to an open bucket from the left side for three by Bella.
And Bella all by herself now, 5th all-time in made threes for Baylor.
3:36 to play in the third. Baylor back in front by 14, matching their biggest lead. Here is Nichols angling right in the lane, bangs into Bella, loses the ball. Bella got a hand on it. Jana comes away with it. Angling from the middle of the floor to the right wing. Nichols defending her. Jana gets to the top of the key, swings it to Bugs, thought about a jumper, outside to Jana, open look at a three, and she hits, and the Baylor lead is 17.
We're saying Baylor plays some stout defense, get some stops, get some turnovers, come down and hit 2 threes in a row, and all of a sudden, Kansas has to call a timeout.
That's a timeout by the Jayhawks. It's a 30-second timeout. We'll stay here as we've already had our media timeouts. Lori, well, actually, we do have a timeout to take. I beg your pardon here. Baylor on a 6-0 run has opened up a 53-36 lead with a 6-0 run over the last 48 seconds. I want to say hello to all of you watching on the Courtside Cam, brought to you by Nextlink. Nextlink, reliable high-speed internet for your home or business.
Those last 2 threes for Baylor, both of those came off of passes from Dariana Little-Page. She has a game-high 9 assists. And really keep her team in this as Baylor has jumped out to a 36 lead. Bugs spread the lead. She was great scoring in that first quarter, and now she's assisting her teammates again with 5 assists in this game so far.
Well, that 6-0 Baylor run prompts a Kansas timeout. The Jayhawks will play it back in after that 30-second timeout. Here is Parks with it on the left side of the floor. Markayla Johnson is back in, guarding Samaya Nichols. Brittany Harshaw has returned for the Jayhawks. Limited playing time for her. Good defense by Talia Scott to close out on Nichols and deny her a 3 opportunity. So Nichols puts it on the floor. Markayla Johnson stumbles and she knocks down, Nichols does, the open jumper left of the lane. That stops a 6-0 Baylor run, but still the Baylor lead is 15 at 53-38. Bugs swings it left side of the floor to Markayla Johnson. Markayla Johnson pops it right side to Dunn. Back to Markayla. Here's Bugs up to set a screen for her fellow Oklahoman. 10 on the shot clock. Dunn finds Jana in the corner. She hit a 3 a moment ago. This one, though, in and out. Offensive rebound down low. Markayla Johnson dribbled it away, and it's loose on the floor. A jump ball called as there was a scrum fighting for it. It's going to stay.
Baylor basketball.
Oh, no, it's just out, straight up out of bounds to Baylor. Straight up out of bounds to Baylor. So the Bears will play it in with 15 seconds to shoot.
Well, Markayla did a great job on the offensive glass. I think she just got sped up a little bit, but the ball stays in Baylor's favor with 15 seconds on the shot clock.
Inbound to Dunn, guarded by Jalea Davis. She angles up to the high right side and swings it across left of the lane to Van Geitenbeek. Around a Bugs screen, Jana's looking for Nelms in the post. Instead finds Dunn. 4 seconds to shoot. Dunn, a floater in the lane. She's fouled with under 2 seconds to go on the shot clock.
Boy, I love Dunn switching to her left hand because that ball may have been knocked into the stands and away if she had gone with her right hand, but switches hands, so ends up at the free throw line.
That is the 4th foul on freshman Jalea Davis, who has scored at least 20 points in her last 3 games. Today she's got 13 on 6 of 9 shooting, but she only has 1 foul remaining for the final 12 minutes, in part because she picked up a technical after a made bucket early second quarter. Yuting Dunn hits the first free throw. She's got 1 more coming. Down to a minute 57 to play in the 3rd quarter. Free throw spins around the rim and then drains home for Dunn, who has 4 points, all of them from the free throw line. Baylor by 17, 55-38. Boy, if you're Kansas, you got to feel like you kept Baylor down for a long time in the 3rd quarter and have nothing to show for it. Nelms cuts in front of Davis and steals the entry pass into the post. Gives it off to Jana Van Geitenbeek, who's been guarded by a good player in Samaya Nichols, but has still made things happen today. Van Beek retreats behind the three-point arc, swings it to Buggs. Buggs drives inside, in a crowd, hangs, floats, and hits from about 5 feet away.
Buggs is having one heck of a game, 12 points, 10 rebounds, and 5 assists. But 6 of 6.
Davis shakes loose down low, and Harshaw finds her for the layup to cut the Baylor lead back to 17. It had hit 19 a moment ago, Baylor's biggest of the day. Minute 8 to play, third quarter. Jana hooks a pass to a driving Nelms, count it, and put her on the line. Jana with a last-minute find in the paint to a cutting Nelms, who absorbed some hard contact and still threw it off glass and in with the right hand. She's got an opportunity to push the Baylor lead to 20 after the foul by Lily Meister.
A bench performance that we're seeing from Kayla Nelms. Again, the opportunity presents itself, and she is hard to take off the floor.
Free throw up, and it's good, and the Baylor lead is 20 at 60-40. Bear in mind, Baylor had scored just 3 points in the first half of the third quarter. They're up to 16 here in the third. Meister bounces it on the baseline to Davis. Kick out up top to Nichols, and she gets tangled up with Markayla Johnson. That foul on Markayla is her first, just the third on the Bears here in the third quarter. And so Kansas will play it in from the sideline with 53 seconds to go as Nadira Altayeb, the 6'4" post player, checks in. Fifth-year player, a JUCO transfer for Brandon Schneider's ball club. Elle Evans is back in. She's got a bandage on her chin. She plays it into Nichols. She gets it back in the left corner. Hooks it to Altayeb, who sends it to an open Keeley Park's right corner, and she splashes in a three. 60-43, Baylor with the lead and possession. 35 seconds to play in the third quarter, 9 seconds between the clocks. Jana around a Nelms screen. Finds Buggs, top of the arc. Buggs with a hard dribble, gives it off to Markayla Johnson, who hangs and hits a free throw line jumper. Good to see Markayla Johnson knock one down there. She's been quiet offensively lately with limited playing time, but she hits it there to give Baylor a 19-point lead, and now the Jayhawks can play for the final shot of the third quarter. 10 seconds to go and shot clock dart. Nichols will begin her drive with 8. Top of the arc with 7, slowly with 6. She's backing up, hooks it to Altayeb. They send it in the corner and throw it out of bounds with 1.7 seconds left.
Baylor did a great job at taking Samaya Nichols completely out of the play.
Well, let's see if they can knock down a long one here to end the third quarter, Lori. They're not going to try as they just play it into Jana in the corner, far corner, and that's the way the third quarter ends. Baylor pushes their lead to 19 points after scoring just 3 points in the first 5 minutes of the third quarter. They explode for 15 in the final 5 minutes of the third and lead at 62-43. Hey, Baylor fans, this basketball season, make Pepsi your go-to game day drink because it's the only drink for basketball watching. Pepsi, that's what I'm proud of Baylor Athletics. Here's a kind of try to close this one out in the fourth quarter, up 62-43. Here at Foster Sports.
Yourself why Green Eye Associates is voted best in Waco year after year. Enjoy exceptional service and care from Dr. Leanne Green, along with her dedicated optometrists and staff. Receive trustworthy insights about your eye health, enjoy the impressive variety of contacts and eyewear, and work with the most experienced optical team in Waco. Don't miss the new state-of-the-art dry eye therapies that rejuvenate the eyes, face, and neck areas with safe, non-invasive treatments to restore comfort and quality of life. Visit greeneyeassociates.com. Green Eye Associates, official optometrist of Baylor Athletics.
Are you tired of slow internet? Are data caps and throttling making it impossible to stream your favorite shows and movies? If so, it sounds like it's time to switch to Nextlink Internet. With Nextlink, there are no data caps and no throttling, just super fast internet speeds, up to 1 gig over wireless in some areas. Plus, Nextlink is an official partner of Baylor Athletics. So don't wait another minute. Give Nextlink a call or go online to nextlinkinternet.com to see what special offers are available to you. Blazing fast internet is just a click or phone call away. Sick 'em, Bears!
You're listening to Baylor Women's Basketball on the Baylor Sports Media Network.
Baylor, with a strong close to the third quarter, has led by as many as 20 points in the third quarter, but it is 19 after Kansas had briefly cut it to 9. The Baylor lead is 19 as we head to the fourth quarter. It's 62-43. Bears with the lead as we head to the fourth quarter, and Lori, really everyone chipped in there in that third quarter.
She scored all 6 of her points in that third quarter, but you ended up with Bella getting a 3 on an assist from Bugs. You had Dunn scoring, Nim scored on a 3-point play, and then Marquella Johnson, who got a shot with 27 seconds left. A nice pull-up jumper on the assist from Bugs. And speaking of Bugs, she has 6 assists in this game. She is one of her career high. You know, she's 6 of 6 from the field. She just has been money on those pull-up jumpers and offensive rebounds and putbacks. Entering the game, underneath. Boy, has she been distributing wealth today. It's such a great pass on the ball.
Well, as we get into the final 10 minutes, Baylor will begin on offense. It is Van Geitenbeek, Scott, Dunn, Abraham, and no, I beg your pardon, Marquella Johnson and Van Geitenbeek. Jana will get a breather. We'll give you the Kansas defense in just a moment. Here's an open look at a 3 from the corner by Ting, and she knocks it down. Good play designed by the Bears as we start the fourth quarter. Everyone touched the ball, and Marquella found Ting open in the corner for a 3. Kansas back the other way on offense with Parks, Nichols, Altayeb, Davis, and Evans. Evans, the 51% three-point shooter, has been quiet today. She takes the feed right side of the floor, angles to the top of the arc, single digits on the shot clock. Altayeb's post-entry pass is intercepted by a leaping Bella Fauntleroy. Baylor today with 17 points off of turnovers, and Marquella Johnson a little too strong on a 3, and then she barrels over Samaya Nichols going after the rebound. And Jana Van Geitenbeek will check back in for the Bears. Also in for Kansas, Meister returns. Sanaya Copeland, the Wisconsin transfer, is in for the first time. Marquella Johnson will exit Marquella with 2 points and 2 rebounds. That foul there is her second and the first on the Bears in the fourth quarter. Let's see if the Bears can maintain this lead in the final few minutes. You know, this team's depth is such that there's not a lot of into-the-bench players, but Coach Nicky can make some decisions with 2 games coming at altitude next week if Baylor can keep this lead going.
They had some good rest today for Talia Scott.
That is good. There is a foul on Nichols, a little push off the screen by Eugene Dunn. That's Dunn's first, the team's second. I'll mention this, Lori. Nazcor Yanova is available to play today. She is available, and I know Coach Nicky wants to be careful about when she has her make her debut, and maybe Baylor could play well enough that you give her that thought that you could bring Goryanova in for her collegiate debut. Players dealt with injuries throughout her Baylor career, looking to play her first game. Off the inbounds, they hit Meister over to Copeland on the wing. Now to Davis, top of the arc. She's going to swing it to Nichols, puts it on the floor. Up top, Meister is open at the top of the key, and she splashes in a 3. Meister doesn't take a lot of threes. She only hits 27%, but she hits that one, and the Baylor lead is back to 19 at 65-46. Here's Van Geitenbeek to the left side of the floor with the left-hand dribble. Whistle. Whistle, and Nichols is in some pain, and the officials stop the play with no one making a move to the basket. They're going to help her off the floor. She may have been able to walk off under her own power, but the trainer is helping her. Boy, you hope she's all right.
I don't know if she rolled an ankle or something, just that kind of.
Well, certainly that's not what Kansas needs, as they take her over, and you hate to see that for her. She's a great player. As Baylor inbounds, we'll see if we can get another look at what happened there. Inbound to Van Geitenbeek, kick out to Bella. Good look at a 3 again, but it's too strong. Rebound kept alive by Kyla Abraham, swooping in the crowd, but it's grabbed by Knessa. Baylor by 19, Kansas with the basketball. 8:15 to play. Oh, Meister threw it to no one. They had a few of those miscommunication turnovers where they thought a player would be moving to a spot, and no one did. Here's a look at the drive. But she stepped on. Did she step on?
No, it just when she came back down with that left ankle, it just kind of gave on her a little bit.
You know, you hope she's all right. I would imagine they won't play her the rest of the way, but we'll see. They're going to need her. Baylor plays it out to Talia Scott. Copeland guarding her for Kansas. 8 minutes to play in this one. Talia Scott spins into a mid-range jumper and airballs it. That was a pretty move and an ugly finish there, but she has 20 points on the game so far. Here is Copeland to the right baseline. A kick out to Meister. Shot puts a 3 and misses. Bella Fauntleroy with another rebound. Bella today with 6 points, 5 rebounds, and 3 assists. Jana Van Geitenbeek gets downhill around an Abraham spring. Kicks it out to Bella. Lobs it back in the post to Abraham, and she is fouled. That's a foul on Lily Meister, and that's her fourth. First on the Jayhawks here in the fourth quarter. This comes with 7:32 remaining. The Bears, despite a 2-minute and 15-second scoring drought, maintaining a 19-point lead. Inbounds, floated to Bella Fauntleroy. Gives it outside to Yu-Ting Dunn. Dunn, a step inside the arc, left side. Looks, and throws it too high for Talia Scott. That's a turnover. Dead ball turnover.
Yeah, give Kansas defense that time. They covered up and they really clogged the lane. And Dunn tried to get the ball inside of Talia Scott, and it didn't even find Talia.
Now Kansas back the other way. Sanaya Copeland is open in the corner, and she splashes in a three. Copeland averages just 2 points per game off the bench, but she hits that one there. Coach Nikki encourages them not to help off of her next time because she is capable, and she hits the three there. Now Baylor turns it over again. Kansas has cut the lead to 16. They're back the other way. Canessa up top to Meister, steps into a three, no good. Offensive rebound nearly grabbed by Davis. It's knocked out of bounds, and it's going to stay with the Jayhawks. So they're going to get another look at it. Lori, they're on a 6-0 run over the last 2 minutes. What you don't want to let them do is make this really a game again. Coach Nicky exhorting the team to play like they have a lead. Here's a kick back into the corner, and Elle Evans hits a three. And just like that, the lead is down to 13. Jana Van Geitenbeek dribbles into the front court, and Coach Nicky, frustrated, calls a timeout. Baylor with some turnovers, and Kansas has scored 9 straight points. That's the first timeout called by the Bears. Cleveland will take it as well. The 2025-26 women's basketball season is presented by Central National Bank, proudly serving Central Texans in Waco, Temple, and Austin. Think different, think Central. Central National Bank. Kansas with a mini run. They've cut the Baylor lead to 13, 65-52 as we head to the final 6:35 at Foster Pavilion on the Baylor Sports Media Network.
We don't just build trucks. We build something that's meant to last. That's why the 2026 Toyota Tundra isn't just built in Texas. It's built by Texas, which means the Tundra is built to tough it out and to take it easy. Built to carry tradition and to make new ones. Built to roll with the punches and to go the distance. Built stronger, built louder, built here. The 2026 Toyota Tundra. Built in Texas, driven everywhere. Test drive at your local Toyota dealer or visit Toyota.com today.
Right now, qualified buyers get 2.99% APR financing for 72 months, plus $1,000 subvention cash on a new 2026 Tundra. Toyota, let's go places. Feature availability differs based on trim. See Toyota.com for offer details. Offer available in select states and ends 2/2/26.
You're listening to Baylor Women's Basketball on the Baylor Sports Media Network.
Run here has cut the Baylor lead from 22 to 13 with a slew of three three-pointers in the last 2 minutes. Lori, Coach Nicky calls a timeout. She doesn't want to let Kansas make this a game again, and so they're going to try to regroup. Baylor's been a little sloppy with the basketball and looked a little tentative despite being up 20.
Well, it was very easy the first, 13 seconds. Baylor runs a play and they get a dunk three in the corner off the assist from Bella. But since then, Baylor has missed its last 4 shots. They have a scoring drought of 3 minutes and 12 seconds. And for 2 minutes of that, Kansas has gone on that 9-0 run. And that last three for Evans, that was on a second chance point because Baylor did not secure the defensive rebound.
Baylor's done a good job on Evans today. She is a 51% free throw shooter, but they have only allowed her three shot attempts, and she has hit 2. So let's see if the Bears can score out of this timeout here. They've done a good job on a lot of Kansas players, but Kansas is not a bad team. They're hanging around, and you want to quell this right now.
Well, you know, they're trying to get back into it. The 3 ball is there, and they've got 3 in a row.
And Kansas is not a terrible three-point shooting team. They're not bad at all. In fact, 36%. Inbound, Jana Van Guytenbeek has it around his screen. Finds Bella at the top of the key. She drives inside, pops a little mid-range jumper off the back rim. No. Rebound batted around, and it's picked up by Knessa for the Jayhawks. They have a chance to cut it to 11 with a 2 or 10 with a 3. Knessa guarded by Yu Ting Dunn. They swing it to Meister. Meister further left side to L. Evans. Evans up top to Jalea Davis. One dribble out to Knessa. They're keeping it on the perimeter so far. Knessa drives inside, dumps it back to the trailing Davis. Davis cut off beneath the basket by Abraham. Swings it outside to Meister, who loses it out of bounds. Meister just didn't grab it with a real efficiency, and she fumbled it.
Well, the one thing that Kyla Abraham does so well is when she gets a post player underneath with her hand straight up. I mean, she, pinned along the baseline. She forced that pass to go out, and Bella Fauntleroy stayed on Evans, and it ended up rolling, or Meister, and ended up rolling out of bounds.
Baylor trying to stop a string of 9 straight points scored as Bugs checks back in already. She's got a double-double for the Bears with 12 points and 10 rebounds. Jana bounces to Abraham with the shot clock at single digits. A little flip in the post, just a bit short. Bugs tips the rebound, though, back to Abraham. Abraham passes it back to Bugs, who sends it outside to Talia Scott. Scott around his screen to the free throw line. In a crowd, finds a cutting Bugs all alone for the layup. Well, Bugs checks back in, and good things happen.
Well, second chance points as well. Give a lot of credit to Talia Scott because she was banged around, didn't lose the ball, but was able to find Bugs, who broke towards the basket.
Baylor is back up by 15 halfway through the fourth quarter. Evans fires it down low in the post to Davis, who misses the shot. Good tough defense there by Kyla Abraham, and now Baylor with a chance to push it up to 17 or 18 here once again. Van Guytenbeek crosses over to the left edge, feeds it right side over to Bella Fauntleroy. Bella drives inside, slips beneath the bucket, and uses the rim and backcourt to lay it in.
Bella just had her way driving in. She created some space. She got a step on her defender, and nice finish at the rim, and Baylor scores 2 quick points.
Baylor back up by 17, 69-52, 4.5 minutes to go. Knessa drives inside, nearly walks with it, hooks it outside to Davis, who dribbles into a pull-up from the mid-range, misses. Offensive rebound by Meister, and Meister is called for a travel. She popped up and caught someone on the underside of the elbow. Looks like she's the worse for wear for it, but she's all right, and that's going to give it back to the Bears. Baylor Laurie scored 19 points off of 20 Kansas turnovers. They've got an opportunity for more here. They've kept Kansas without a point for the last 2:24. Here's Kyla Abraham, middle of the floor, and a whistle away from the ball, and an offensive foul is called for Jana Van Guytenbeek, trying to work through a crowd off a screen.
Talia Scott let one fly, and it popped in. You can hear the crowd. They're like, oh.
Well, that's going to give it back to the Jayhawks. They have gone 2 minutes and 40 seconds without scoring. We're under 4 minutes to go in this one. Knessa cut off left of the lane by Bugs. They push it outside to L. Evans, who hands it back to Knessa. Swing it left corner to L. Evans, and contact with Jana Van Guytenbeek, and a foul will be called on Jana.
Jana did a great job getting over to cover up Evans, who's over in the corner. You know, he's going to pull a three. Just, I guess, couldn't stop fast enough. She got over there fast.
3:53 to play. Kansas in from the baseline, finds Evans for 3, but she's not able to clear it as Bella gets out there quickly. She goes inside to Meister instead, who uses a post move to flip it in with the left hand. That makes it 69-54 and snaps nearly 3-minute scoring drought for the Jayhawks. 3:39 to play. Baylor is up by 15. Bugs with a crossover dribble, scoops it out to Abraham. Abraham spins it left side to Van Guytenbeek. Jana Van Guytenbeek swings it across. Bugs puts it on the floor, flips it out to Bella. Look at a 3, is short. Rebound chased down in the corner by Knessa. She's double teamed and is able to unload it to Jalea Davis. Baylor by 15, 3:17 to go. Copeland fires it cross court. The pass tipped by Bugs, breaking up the play that would have got them a look at a 3. And it's going to force the Jayhawks to play it in from the far left corner with 3:13 to play. Colin Kirtle tells us that last steal by Jana Van Guytenbeek gives her a career high with 4 of them. Inbound to L. Evans. She lobs it in the post to Meister. Backs inside on Abraham and rolls it off the back of the rim and in. Meister with a slew of shots here late with Samaya Copeland on the bench. She has 11 points, one of 2 Jayhawks in double figures. Jana swoops down the lane and lays it in with the left hand. 8 points now for Jana Van Guytenbeek, and the Baylor lead is back to 15. 71-56. 20 points for Talia Scott, 14 for Bugs, 8 for Bella, and for Van Guyton Big. Kyla Abraham knocks a pass away from Meister. They feed it inside to Davis, and Davis is bailed out by a foul. She really had nowhere to go, but was able to lean in and get, I guess, just enough contact from Bella for the foul call. That's Bella's third, and 5 on the Bears. Kansas will be shooting the penalty for the final 2:34. 71-56, Baylor with the lead. Jayhawks have outscored Baylor by 4 this quarter. Baylor really, except for the second quarter, hasn't started any quarter especially good offensively today, but they've finished well. First free throw by Davis is good. Davis has 12 points now. Actually, 3 Jayhawks in double figures as she hits them both. Davis leads them with 17. Meister and Samaya Nichols each have 11. Baylor plays it in with some backcourt pressure by the Jayhawks. Kyla Abraham with a couple of hard dribbles up the wing, and she's able to help Baylor break the press. Talia Scott thought about a 3. She will try a step-back 3 and leave it short. Rebound picked off the floor by Evans. She probably could have got that shot a little later in the shot clock. Kansas down by 13 with 2:18 to go. They're in desperation mode as they play it out to Copeland. Copeland swings it up to Jalea Davis. Now further on the left side to Evans. Bugs out there guarding her. Bugs has done a good job defensively on Elle Evans in the 2 games they faced each other. Sanaya Copeland wants to drive. Shot clock at 8. Oh, a late whistle after the ball was knocked away, and the shot clock dwindling. It's going to go against Bella Fauntleroy, and that's her 4th. That is her 4th personal, so she has 1 to go for the final 2:01. But that is going to give the Jayhawks a fresh shot clock. 2:01 to go, and send, no, this is going to send Copeland, I beg your pardon, to the line. Copeland to the line, a 60% free throw shooter in limited playing time, a Kansas City, Kansas native who played her first couple of years at Wisconsin before transferring to the Jayhawks, and she hits her first free throw to make it 71-59 with 2:01 remaining. One more coming for Copeland. And it's good, 71-60. This is as close as the Jayhawks have been since the opening minutes of the 4th quarter. Still Baylor in execution mode. You protect the basketball, you've got the game, but you got to make sure you do so. Baylor plays it into Jen, and just as we say that, a turnover in a crowd. Kansas kicks it out to Elle Evans. She's going to unload a 3, and she missed it. And then as Baylor goes for the rebound, a foul called on Kansas. That's going to go against Jalea Davis, and that's her 5th. So I beg your pardon, that's her 4th. Her 4th. So Baylor will play it in and go the length of the floor with 1:53 to go, up 71-60. Coach Nicky exhorting the team there during that brief stoppage in play how to get it in. They're going to throw a baseball pass to Talia Scott, who got open behind the defense, couldn't grab the pass, so she's going to wait for teammates to circle back, as she did grab it, though. And they're going to drain some clock, which is not a bad thing at all. Baylor up by 11 with 1:42 to play.
Yeah, Kansas has a lot of fouls to give here in the last under 2 minutes to play.
Yeah, they've only been called for 2 here in the 4th quarter. Scott around a screen from Bugs with 8 to shoot with 7. She spins inside, gets right to the basket and didn't have a good angle, threw it under the bottom of the rim. Kansas comes away with the rebound with 80 seconds to go. Evans loses the basketball, chases it back down. Could have been a double dribble. They send it to Copeland left side. Her 3 back rim, no. Rebound grabbed by Kyla Abraham, and that should just about do it. 1:09 to play. Baylor is up 71-60. Talia Scott has it middle of the floor. She's going to drain clock again. By the time she shoots the basketball, if it is indeed her, there will be under a minute to go, which is where we are right now. Talia Scott with 12 to shoot, still in the center jump circle. Copeland guarding her with 8 to shoot with 7. She has the ball poked away, and Copeland going after the loose ball fouls her. So you don't love that Talia had the ball poked away, but you don't mind that you drained 24 seconds off the shot clock, and the Big 12's leading free throw shooter is going to the line. Now foul on Copeland is her first, and the team's 3rd. No, she's not going to the line. They still had still have 2 more to give. I beg your pardon. Still, you get a fresh 20 out of it, and you drain 24 seconds as Kansas calls a timeout, setting up, I guess, a last-second kind of strategy session here They need a lot to go right to find their way back in it, down 11 with 50 seconds to go.
Well, you know, we saw Baylor come back from 19 points to win at Kansas State, or excuse me, at Oklahoma State. So you're always in the game. Kansas was down by 22, and they got it halved to an 11-point lead for Baylor. A little too close for comfort here in the fourth quarter.
It is. And I think Baylor, you know, obviously they've closed some games, right? Oklahoma State, Iowa State, but you're still learning to do that consistently. Kansas will bring in a tall, lanky lineup with a good defender in Copeland out there out of the timeout, and Baylor will play it in from the left side of the floor, away from the bench. Bella looking for a teammate, and she finds Jana Van Geitenbeek. Jana chases down to the right side, and Fandel is over to foul. They still have one more foul to give. That's the fourth, so actually the next one will put Baylor at the line. Baylor is up by 11 with 49.2 remaining. They're going to play it again, and Kansas, you would think, would either try to quickly knock it away or tie it up, and short of that, foul. They play it into Jana Van Geitenbeek, who got open as she crosses midcourt. Elle Evans fouls her, and that is going to send Jana to the line. That's Evans' first and the team's fifth. Well, just like you don't want to have a poor play right before halftime, you don't want to have a poor second quarter, you really don't want to have a poor fourth quarter. But you can learn some things from this. The good news is Baylor went into the fourth quarter with a 19-point lead, and Kansas has gotten no closer than 11, as the first free throw by Jana is up and good. She's got one more coming. 72-60 Bears. If she hits this one, she would push the lead to 13 and also become the third Bear in double digits, and she does. And Kansas has timeouts to burn, and they will burn another one with 47.9 seconds to go. 73-60. Well, Lori, I think we knew coming in we were going to get Kansas's best effort. I don't know if I would say we got their best effort. You know, they've also, let's note, have had to play most of this fourth quarter without Samaya Nichols, who looked like she rolled her ankle or just was limping off the floor after coming down awkwardly. You know, obviously she's a prolific scorer, 19 points per game. They've been without her in this fourth quarter. Still, I think you've taken a good effort from Kansas, and honestly have still been ahead by double digits most of the second half.
You know, here in this quarter, Baylor shooting 4-13 in this quarter, and Kansas is 5 for 11, but that's almost about 45.5%. But getting those 3 threes in a row just really changed the complexion of this game in the fourth quarter.
Kansas will play it in with 45 seconds. Failed to mention, Lori, Yaya Felder here watching the game today. Good to see her. Jalea Davis bangs into Bella Fauntleroy, no whistle, and lays it in to make an 11-point game. The Bears play it into Jana, who is double-teamed, splits the defense, and finds Bugs across midcourt. We're down to 34 seconds to play, 20 to shoot for the Bears. Sanaya Copeland is up to foul to Leah Scott, and she will go to the line. Copeland picks up her second. We're going to talk to Talia Scott on the First Central Credit Union post-game show and get her thoughts as she goes to the line. Talia Scott today, 4 of 4 from the line, 20 points on 7 of 21 shooting as the first one is up, and it's perfect. You know, she had that really strong second quarter, Lori, and you know, what we've seen a couple games in a row now is Baylor has found some good streaks by players on the floor. It's been Talia Scott. Bella Fauntleroy had a good run. You know, Baylor has some shooters who are capable of getting hot, and as Talia Scott hits them both, the Baylor lead is back to 13 with 31.8 seconds to go, and another timeout called by Brandon Schneider. You know, you can't take them with you. You can't take the free throws back to Lawrence with you. So
defense travels, you know, timeouts don't.
Timeouts do not. And so he will talk things through one more with his Kansas squad. But Baylor is up by 13, Lori, 75 to 62. Still not perfect. This team's still looking to find its ceiling. But I think, again, you look, didn't even play their best basketball offensively and still have beat a solid team here. Not pulling away exactly, but really never letting them close in the second half.
You know, the good things that you want to look at on the stat sheet is Baylor's taking pretty good care of the basketball with only 12 turnovers, but some of those turnovers have led to points. Kansas has got that points off turnovers pretty close now of 16 points off of Baylor's 12 rebounds. Kansas has turned the ball over 20 times. Baylor has 19 points off of them. Baylor has crashed the boards hard. They lead in the offensive category. They've got a lot of second chance points. The bench has done well as well, but you know, for Baylor, just the fourth quarter just got away from Baylor just a little bit.
31
still up by double digits.
31.8 seconds to go. Evans will play it in. Baylor is up by a 13-point lead, 75-62. Design play to Meister. They're going to fire it down low to Davis in close, and she lays it in. Shot clock off now, 25.9 seconds to go. Baylor plays it into Jana, who survives the pressing defense into the front court, and Knessa is forced to foul with 20 seconds remaining. And now Baylor can push it back to 13 with 20 seconds left. Good job by Baylor just to kind of barrel through that pressure in the backcourt there, and Jana kept it herself, and she'll go to the free throw line. Jana is 3 of 4 from the stripe today, 75% on the year.
Baylor overall today, 14 of 15 from the free throw line, so they continue to be really good from the line. And I knew, because I was talking about that,
you know, anytime there's a streak that is worthy of mention, statistically, it's due to it. But let's see if she can hit the second. Nope, she does not. She missed them both. Rebound batted around multiple times. It's loose on the floor. Buggs hustles after it. And now we've got a whistle as both Bella and Kyla hit the floor hard. They're slow to get up.
Both hitting the ball around and trying to knock it out. And finally, Buggs able to get that rebound and be able to get the ball back out real quickly.
Well, let's see if Buggs can close it out here at the line. She was fouled by Laia Knessa after grabbing that rebound. 14 points, 13 rebounds for Buggs.
Just another day at the office.
Our statistical expert, Colin Pirtle, tells us that she is 7 of 7 from the floor today. And this is the second time in her career she has been at least 7 of 7 from the floor. She was also 9 of 9 against UCF. She hits the first free throw and the second. And Brandon Schneider, he says, you know what? I don't want this timeout in my back pocket. This timeout is driving me nuts. I'm going to burn it. And so that he does.
Well, let's talk about Buggs there from the free throw line, because Buggs, you know, for about the first, you know, couple of months of the season or the non-conference play, it was just hard for Buggs to be able to find that rhythm that we were used to, and how she has just elevated her game back to All-American status. Those two free throws were a thing of beauty. She was highly confident stepping up there, long arc, and she snapped the net on both of those. And what an afternoon for her. 16 points, 13 rebounds, 7 of 7 from the field, 2 of 2 from the free throw line, has 6 assists and only one foul.
You like that. You know, last year Coach Nicky often called Dariana Littlepage Buggs her security blanket, and is with 13.8 seconds to go. Kansas is going to play it into Knessa, who drives inside, has the ball knocked away out of bounds. You know, there's been some streaky moments by Talia Scott, Bella Fauntleroy, some good scoring runs, but Buggs has been that constant throughout today. 8.8 seconds to go. Baylor putting the finishing touches on what will be their 4th straight Big 12 win. Inbound to Jalea Davis. She flips it up and off. Rebound hits the floor with 4 seconds to go. It's loose in the backcourt. Talia Scott looks at Coach Nicky and decides to shoot it. Does that count? We'll see if that counts. It does count. And I don't know that Coach Nicky's going to love her decision to shoot that there. She, I think, was asking if she could or not, and then did lay it in. And that pushes the lead. Well, we'll see if they count it or not. It's up on the board, and they do count it. 79-64 as Baylor wins this one here today. That's 4 in a row in Big 12 play. The Bears, a 15-point victory, have now won 4 consecutive games. They are 4-1 in Big 12 play. We'll have the First Central Credit Union postgame show coming up next, following a 79-64 Baylor win. Talia Scott with 24 points. Dariana Littlepage Buggs with a double-double, 16 and 13. Good game all the way around for the Bears today. And we'll talk about it when we come back. We'll hear from Talia Scott. We'll visit with Coach Nicky. All that and more after this on the Baylor Sports Media Network.
Do you want to earn points while cheering on your favorite Baylor teams? Join Baylor Bold Rewards. Track your attendance on the Baylor Sports app across athletic events and earn points towards prizes and experiences. Download the Baylor Sports app or register online today at BaylorBoldRewards.com and start earning your points today.
Today we have two very special guests on our program. Introducing Lem and Lime.
Hello.
For Starry Lemon Lime Soda.
Thanks for having us.
What is Starry Lemon Lime Soda?
It's a crisp, clear burst of lemon lime flavor, and it's caffeine-free.
Between us, one of you must be a little more important to Starry than the other. Who is it?
We're both important.
So it could just as easily be Starry Lime Lemon Soda.
No, that doesn't sound right.
Oh, I like it.
So you saying hip-hop could be hop-hip?
Works for me.
Starry Lemon Lime Soda. Starry hits different.
Bluebonnet Health Services has been caring for Central Texans since 2004. Bluebonnet is locally owned and operated, which allows them the most interaction with patients each and every day, promoting compassionate care and integrity. They provide hands-on attention to their patients through a staff with years of experience. Bluebonnet Health Services provides home health care, supportive care, and hospice. Remember, it's your health, your choice. Ask your doctor for Bluebonnet Health Services.
When you strive for greatness, you have a target on your back. And when it comes to finances, we're all targets for scammers. With the right game plan, you can protect yourself. Don't get faked by fraud.
Here's a tip. Never deposit someone else's money into your bank account. Scammers will send you money or overpay you and then ask you to refund a portion of the money back to them. This is a scam.
This message is brought to you by Central National Bank.
Fox Sports Radio, 93.9 K230CK and KRMX HD3 Waco.
This has been live coverage of Baylor women's basketball. Now it's time for the First Central Credit Union post-game show. Brought to you by Texas Farm Bureau Insurance, championship partner of Baylor Athletics. Visit Texas Farm Bureau Insurance online to find a local agent today. Central National Bank, proud season sponsor of Baylor women's basketball. Nissan, innovation that excites. Libman, America's trusted brand name in cleaning. Premier ER and Urgent Care. Feel better now. Stay tuned as we break down the game. Listen to highlights, talk with Coach Colin, players, and more. All coming up on the Baylor Sports Media Network.
We are joined live by the game's leading scorer, Talia Scott, 24 points en route to Baylor's 15-point win today. And first off, Talia, congratulations on the win. It's fun to see you back out there doing your thing. You think about, we missed you that game against Texas Tech. You've been able to come back, and the Bears have won 4 straight games. They've all been different, but you've been able to play a big role in all of them.
Yeah, I think just being able to come in and contribute in any way I can, whether it's scoring, whether it's defending, whether it's passing the ball, whether it's anything that the coach wants me to do, being able to come in and help the team in any way, and I feel like we've really hit a groove here.
Yeah, I got to ask you, the last couple of games you've had a very certain, your standards are so high. You've had quiet first halves, and after missing your first, 4 shots today, I don't know if there's ever a temptation to be like, oh no, I don't want to keep, but then you really got it going here. What changed it? What flips for you, if anything? Is it for you just you got to keep shooting and they're going to fall?
Yeah, I think just keep shooting, and I feel like I'm kind of in a slump right now, and so trying to shoot my way out of that. I have teammates and coaches that are giving me confidence to do that, but trying to see 1 or 2 go in and then catching a rhythm off of that. But really, it's just keeping my confidence high. It can't waver no matter what's going on, because I know my teammates need me and I need them, and so yeah.
What about your teammate Bugs today? Dariana Littlepage Bugs just had an outstanding game. What about her play has really elevated, especially since Big 12 play began?
Yeah, I think she just brings so much energy to our team on both sides of the ball. I think defensively she is a huge part of our defense, right? The way she can rebound the ball, the way she defends other people's post players, the way she can defend 1 through 5, right? She can defend every player on the court, and so we need that. And she gives us the energy, she gives us sparks, and then offensively she gets offensive rebounds, she gets putbacks for us. She makes makes those open mid-range shots. She's just such a big piece to our team, and without her, we don't win these games.
Boy, and she's a great distributor of the ball today. She had 6 assists,
Oh,
just
wow.
one off of her career high. So she was getting y'all involved in the game as well, and that's just a bonus, isn't it?
Yeah, that's a real big bonus when you can have your forward doing that and getting people involved and getting guard shots. Like, that's amazing, and we need that. We need all of that.
Visiting with Talia Scott, leads the Bears in scoring segment in the Big 12. I got to ask you, free throw shooting is a big part of your game. Drawing fouls is a big part of your game. And it feels like that, your teammates have kind of picked up on that as well. Baylor have been really good at the line the last few games. Today, 16 of 19. How much does it mean to this team to be able to make plays, even if they don't result in a bucket, to draw those fouls?
Yeah, I think drawing fouls is a big part of what we do, and I think now that we're making free throws at a high clip, I think that can be a really, really strong part of our game, especially because how much we drive, how much we get downhill, how much we get in the paint. Drawing those fouls and be able to make those shots and make all our free throws and all that stuff, I think that's really, really big for us. And it's like easy points, right? You see people and teams lose games because of that, and so we never want to be in that situation where we're losing games because of free throws and not making them. So I think that's a really big part of what we do.
Well, we've seen that play out this year. So now, headed to the road. How do you feel about a 4-night road swing with two good teams in Utah?
Yeah, I ain't never been to Utah, but, I'm excited to be able to go out and test ourselves against some of those teams. BYU and Utah are two really, really good teams. They're really, really competitive teams. They execute well, and so it's going to be a big challenge for us, but I think we're ready, and I'm excited to see how this plays out.
Yeah.
Boy, the Big 12 Conference this year, everybody is just bunched up, especially in that middle and top echelon. So these are let's just go play another one.
Yeah.
And then we'll play another one.
Yes, and we love to try to get road wins, too. We love that.
Well, Talia, another big game today, another big win. Congrats, and we appreciate it.
Thank you so much, and thank you for having me.
Thank you. Talia Scott joining us here on the First Central Credit Union postgame show. First Central Credit Union, everything we do for you. I think Talia's about to join her teammates to sign autographs. They've got a postgame autograph and photo opportunity.
Don't you know they're all going, where is Talia Scott? Where is number 0? And but that's always exciting too. But for fans, the fans stuck around for the end of this game. It got a little exciting, if you will.
Mm-hmm.
But excited that fans did a great job today with the whiteout, and then the opportunity for fans to be able to get autographs and photos with the players. That is really unique to women's basketball, and I love that Baylor is able to do that again tonight.
Well, and this is a very likable team to interact
They
with,
are.
to be around, enjoyable group. Fans, I think a lot of our fans know that already, but they're going to enjoy interacting with them if they haven't already. Just a really personable and mature bunch. Down goes the water bottle. Luckily, it was closed.
That's why we have the caps
unopened.
on.
Yep, that's right. We're going to be joined by Coach Nikki Collin here in just a minute. Following a 79-64 Baylor win, the Bears led by as many as 22 in this one. Kansas cut it to 11 in the fourth quarter, but Baylor never let them get any closer than that en route to the win. We are brought to you, as always, by Rudy's. Be sure to stop by your local Rudy's or Rudy's.com for some real Texas barbecue. Enjoy 100% oak smoked meats, delicious sides, and Rudy's signature sauce. Don't forget that Rudy serves breakfast tacos every day until 10 a.m. We mentioned Talia Scott. She was Baylor's leading scorer, the game's leading scorer, with 24 points. Darion Littlepage Buggs a double-double with 16 and 13. Jana Van Geitenbeek finished with 10 points, 3 rebounds, and 3 assists. Going up against a good defender, Samaya Nichols was on her quite a bit. And, and the numbers weren't quite as big today. Jana had at least 7 assists in 9 of her last 10 ball games. She didn't get there today. But Coach Nikki was talking about, obviously she loves the high assist numbers and she loves the ball moving. But she said with this team, with Talia Scott and scorers, players who can take defenders off the dribble, it's a little different. And she says she's really, coaches have their systems, but you got to adjust. You got to, when your personnel demands adjustment, you got to figure out where you force it and where you adjust. And for her, she's saying, I'm looking at, are we getting good shots? Are we getting good looks? Because ultimately the point of assists is to get a good look and to hit it. And so if you're getting good looks, that's what matters. And so the assist numbers aren't quite as high. But, don't get me wrong, I think she would love the high assist numbers still. But she's learning that I'm not going to get upset if the numbers aren't where they are, if the looks we're getting are good, if the assist number, if the buckets are good. And that's what's been happening as she makes her way over to join us now. Her post-game comments are brought to you by Alliance Bank. it's your bank. Coach Nicky, the players about to go sign autographs here. Before we ask about the game, I got to say, I think a lot of our fans already know it's a fun group to interact with, but I think the fans who don't up there are going to get to find that out here.
Oh, no doubt. Really good group of humans. Let's start with that. Good students, good stewards of our program, and they really like each other. It was interesting. Like I heard, I don't know why, I feel like I need to discuss this, but, we were talking about this earlier about Tang talking about how his team has off-court chemistry, but they haven't figured out the on-court chemistry.
Jerome Tang with Kansas
and viewing that as a negative, and I think that's like all a part of this new world we're in, where you're building new rosters every year, and like they get along. Our kids get along, but it takes time. It takes time, and that's why you see the Indiana footballs of the world with all these 6th and 5th year seniors, kind of know what they're doing on both sides of the ball. It takes time, and you're learning it in real time. Like, I thought we did so many things so well, and then we had about a 4-minute stretch where we lost our minds, and it's like you go from up 20 to giving up back-to-back-to-back threes, and we're taking quick shots, and like we're not focused. We didn't call timeout when I asked them to call timeout. We didn't run our press break play when we were supposed to run our press. Like, we just kind of lost our cool, and then like even that's growth. The last game we talked about being better in the last 3 minutes in terms of executing and getting the ball in bounds and not getting, and now all of a sudden it's like you're up 20, and I want to manage the game and get my bench in because we got a big road swing, and then before you know it, it's 11. It's like so you're always trying to figure out something with your team, and so lots to work on, that's for sure, but a lot of really good things today as well.
Well, one of those good things, good players was Dariana Little-Page. Bugsy, you talk about her as a security blanket last year. 16 points, 7 of 7 shooting, 13 points, 6 assists, 1 turnover. That's a pretty incredible stat
and only
line.
1 foul.
Yeah, phenomenal. and we're not even talking about her defense because I thought her defense was really, really good. I mean, she started on Nichols. We certainly were switching middle ball screens, and but I thought all the way around, I thought she got us off to a good start. She found gaps. She slipped when we needed her to slip. She hit her little jump shot, which always makes me happy. Because, we know we can get it for her. I thought she systematically executed against the zone. In fact, her 1 turnover, I thought, while she probably shouldn't have thrown it, Ting should have been moving to the spot she threw it to, and so her mind was in the right place. But I thought when they went to the 2-3 zone, we finally started to break it when we got the ball to her in the high post, and she made good decisions. So, yeah, she was phenomenal. I mean, 7 for 7 and 2 for 2. Like, super proud of her. I thought she was phenomenal.
Well, Talia Scott gets her 24. It took a bit to get there today, but and then Jana ends up in double figures as well. Not as many assists, but boy, was she good on the defensive end and being able to get a career high 4 steals.
Yeah, I thought, it's funny because on one hand, a year ago we had Little-Page Bugs guard Elle Evans, and so we matched length for length. And the scary part with Elle Evans is, like, she can see over Jana, but as long as she's there on the catch, Jana was like a gnat underneath her, and she did not like. And Ting's the same way. Like, when Ting has someone small on her and gets underneath her dribble, it bothers her, because they're both pretty tall and they're a little too upright at times. They don't play low enough. And I thought she really bothered. She was there on the catch most of the time. I thought we had some defensive breakdowns in moments, like that little 9-0 where they hit 3 threes. And then the first half, the first time they subbed, we went 3 possessions without knowing who we were guarding. And I think they didn't score on 2 of the 3 possessions, but it was like, we got to be focused. We can't let it can't take 3 possessions to, get matched up. And I thought, in the first half, Talia wasn't hitting the 3 early. We went to middle ball screen with her. She went crazy in the middle ball screen. And so then they went zone because they couldn't guard the middle ball screen. And then we got more shots against the zone, didn't make them, and then she hit, her last 2 shots. So they went box and 1, and that's the most consistent teams have stayed with a box and 1. And as much as we were like a little uncomfortable against it because you don't play against it very often, we built a 20-point lead, but it gets hard when you're that kid that's used to having the ball in your hands a lot and getting a lot of shots, and now all of a sudden, like, they're putting someone face guarding you, and then they're also, like, if you come off a screen clean, they're there. They're trying to put 2 on the ball in that situation. So, but I thought the little run she had in the first half was we were kind of matching them basket for basket, but She was kind of unstoppable in that low midi range.
Yeah, that was a Davis versus Talia Scott at about the first 5 minutes of that second quarter. But those pull-up jumpers, though, once Talia gets going, she just rolls.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, no, when she gets a rhythm, she has such good rhythm on that shot. And it's why, like a game ago, I thought Colorado did the best job of being physical on the screen and then being a little bit higher, so she didn't have that room to get to her pull-up as easily. But, you know, I mean, and I think if she could play that game all over again, she'd hezzy, you know, at that big and probably go around them, you know, and I think that's because her hezzy's so dang good. But it was good to see her make a couple threes in a row. I mean, obviously, the last 2 games, she's struggled overall from the three-point line, but she still finds a way, that's for sure.
Yeah, she's always money from the free throw line, too, and that seems to have ignited this team as well. You've been really good from the free throw line past couple of games.
Yeah, well, maybe we need to start saying, 100 threes and not 100 free throws, because we've been doing a good job. In fact, when you look down and you realize the only person that missed them is Jana, it's kind of surprising because, I look at her numbers and I think the whole last week before every game of her 100 free throws, she was either 93 or 94%. So, but there's a rhythm to that. You're standing there, you're shooting them, you shoot 100 at a time. That's different than you get 2. But I thought even on that last possession, she missed 2. Kyla got the offensive rebound. And truthfully, I wish she hadn't gone for it because they're in the bonus. It's one of those situations where normally I would say don't even go for it. We end up with the ball. Talia gets fouled, makes 2 foul shots. And so, it ended up working out. But usually that's not – you don't want to try to go for those rebounds in that situation because they're going to shoot 2 if they call over the back.
I want to ask you, Coach Nikki, we can't get inside the minds of the opponents, but this is a Kansas team that had lost 3 Big 12 games by 13 points, a buzzer beater at Iowa State. They've actually played some good teams close, just didn't have a win. Is there something to be said, too, for a team when you kind of know, like, man, they're probably pretty hungry coming in here, and you just don't – and they've had some comeback wins this year as well, or comeback in some games. You really never let them hang around close enough to have that kind of sliver of hope?
Well, it felt too close there in the fourth. Because you feel like you're playing great and you're up 20. Mm-hmm. I think they're still so young. I mean, I don't, I know Meester is older, but Davis being a freshman, Parks being a freshman, Fandel being a freshman, they're playing young. They're really young, and this is the day and age. I look at them. I look at Kansas State. Probably I don't know for sure, but probably 2 of the youngest teams in our league. Player for player, and you see these flashes of what they're capable of, I mean, I thought they started Keeley probably as a defensive person on Talia. That's a tough matchup, like you got one of the best scorers in the country, and Samaya Nichols is a tough guard, but I think we also are one of the few teams that have the ability to put size on her. A lot of people, because she runs the point, they put little on her, and then they can't switch with their 5s, but the way we play, we just we're going to get beat every now and again, but we try to keep a body in front of her, try to make her score over us. Her getting only 4 free throws, I know he rested her. I mean, he probably felt like save her for the next game. But, I think when she doesn't go to the line, I think we're always there. Like and they didn't get much in transition with her. So, but 7 assists and no turnovers is pretty solid.
Well, Coach Nikki, 2 big road games coming up, Utah on Wednesday, BYU on Saturday, a few days up in the altitude, 4-game winning streak. Hope to keep it going there.
Yeah, I mean, it's going to be a tough test. It's Utah's hot. They're as hot as anybody in our league, going on the road and winning at Kansas State, beating TCU at home. So, 3-game win streak, feeling good. Altitude, that always is, you don't want to build in excuses for your team because you just shouldn't. But, we're going to have that mental. That's why I was hoping when it was 20 we could get it to 25 and I could empty my bench, today. But because we're going to see 2 really good teams. And maybe BYU more than Utah is going to press, and they pressure. And they're probably the other super young team in our league and that just freaking competes like crazy. So 2 really good opponents. It's going to be that road swing right now, the way those teams are playing, is as difficult, like if you're going to go do a swing trip, it's about as difficult as it gets in our league. unless you have to go TCU Baylor. That's
Yeah.
a pretty tough. Or Texas Tech. Like, look what Texas
Yeah.
Tech is doing. No one wants to come to Texas. So, anyway.
Well, you've been playing well. This team has been well prepared for some tough moments so far. They've overcome, so another challenge ahead. Coach Nikki, thanks very much.
Yeah, thank you.
Bears head coach Nikki Collin with her post-game comments following a 79-64 Baylor win today over Kansas. This is the First Central Credit Union post-game show. We'll take a timeout and come back with more after this from Foster Pavilion. Bears win today on the Baylor Sports Media Network.
It's the wrap-up the year sales event at Allen Samuels Dodge Chrysler Jeep Ram in Waco. Drive the stunning 2025 Jeep Grand Cherokee L with 0% financing for 60 months, or take $4,500 in combined bonus cash, plus $1,000 in select inventory cash. And right now, enjoy no payments for 90 days. Just sign and drive into the new year. These deals end soon, so hurry into Allen Samuels in Waco today.
Come by. Let's be friends.
When you strive for greatness, you have a target on your back. And when it comes to finances, we're all targets for scammers. With the right game plan, you can protect yourself. Don't get faked by fraud.
Here's a tip. Don't click on links in emails and text messages. Scammers send emails and texts that look real, saying there's a problem with your account or your order. Don't click. Don't do it, ever. Instead, go directly to the company's website and log in there.
This message is brought to you by Central National Bank.
Come see why Green Eye Associates is voted best in Waco year after year. Enjoy exceptional service and care from Dr. Leanne Green alongside her dedicated optometrist and staff. Receive trustworthy insights on your eye health, enjoy the impressive variety of contacts and eyewear, and work with the most experienced optical team in Waco. Don't miss the new state-of-the-art dry eye therapies that rejuvenate the eyes and face with safe, non-invasive treatments to restore comfort and quality of life. Green Eye Associates, official optometrist of Baylor Athletics.
Serving Texas since 2007, Magnolia Realty is a full-service brokerage led by expert industry knowledge and a commitment to community. With kindness and integrity at the forefront, every agent is equipped to help you navigate the market and make the real estate journey your own. Whether buying or selling, feel supported with an award-winning agent at your side from first offer to contract and close. Magnolia Realty serves cities including Waco, Dallas, Fort Worth, Austin, San Antonio, Temple. Learn more at magnoliarealty.com.
You're listening to Baylor Women's Basketball on the Baylor Sports Media Network.
Defeat Kansas today at Foster Pavilion, 79-64, the final scores. We welcome you back into the First Central Credit Union postgame show. First Central Credit Union, everything we do for you. Interesting game in the fact that Baylor really kind of struggled with their offense at the start of quarters, but generally closed strong today. They did so in the first, second, and third quarters and were able to salt the game away in the fourth quarter despite playing, obviously, a quarter that we did wonder, Coach Nikki mentioned, I wondered if Inez Goryanova might get a chance to make her Baylor debut or collegiate debut. Now, she didn't mention Inez by name, but certainly you think, Ella Brow, maybe a little bit more Kaylin Elms, Kira Pemberton. She didn't get to bring the bench in like she wanted because instead of pushing that lead to 25, the Bears allowed Kansas to cut it to 11. So you kind of hate to see that. But ultimately, I think against a solid Kansas team, Baylor, once they got the lead in this one, never really let them get it going. In fact, Kansas's last lead was at 7-6 in the first quarter. So they never led in this one after the first few minutes. And even though they cut it somewhat close, it was never really that close. Baylor had a comfortable lead throughout. Kansas actually with better field goal percentage than the Bears, 45-41%, but Baylor was able to take 15 more shots than the Jayhawks, and they hit 4 more of them en route to the win today. Kansas 29% beyond the arc, 6 of 21. Baylor 7 of 31. That's 23%. You'd like to see the three-point shooting get going again. Baylor has been cold here, as Coach Nikki alluded. In the last couple of games, 23% against Colorado, 31% against Iowa State, and 35%. In fact, you have to really go back all the way to that Texas game, believe it or not, the last time Baylor shot at least 37% from three in a game. So that is becoming a bit of a – I feel like this is a good enough shooting team that they're going to start falling again, but that is a several-game stretch here. In fact, that is 6 in a row now that Baylor has shot 33% or 35% or worse. So really only the Oklahoma State game, the only kind of one that stands out in a positive way in the last few games. But still, the Bears have, since that Texas game, won all but one of them, and that was a game with Talia Scott. So the positive approach to this is it's a team that doesn't have to hit the threes, doesn't have to have the game go one kind of way to win.
And also, there were a few threes that weren't good looks or something you didn't want to take as early as you did, and you missed it in the shot clock. But for the majority, a lot of those were really good looks, and they're I don't know what it is about this place this weekend. It has just not been not good from the three, but Baylor got enough of them and bunched some of them together. They started quarters off or ended quarters with some really well executed plays from the three, and so that gives you hope. But again, Baylor being really good from the free throw line, 84%. I mean, that when you get there, you got to make them, and that's why they call them the free throws, and they're free points, and just as Talia Scott was saying, and on the post-game show. So it was good to see Baylor just really be money from the free throw line. You know, that Texas Tech game, Baylor was not especially good, 12 of 18, and that cost them. But 80% against Oklahoma State, 20-25, 94% at Iowa State, 17 of 18, 10 of 14 against Colorado, and then today, 16 of 19 for the Bears at the line. That's good for 84%. A few other numbers: Baylor forces 20 turnovers, and coughs it up just 12 times themselves. Outscores Kansas off those turnovers, 19-16. Baylor a 6 rebound edge on the glass, 39-33, including 16-8 on the offensive boards, leading to 19 second chance points for the Bears, just 6 for the Buffaloes. The Baylor bench has outscored the opposing bench now for the 12th time in the last 13 games, 17 for the Bears, 10 for the Jayhawks. Baylor today with 17 assists on 28 field goals. Kansas with 17 on 24. 3 in double figures for the Jayhawks, led by the freshman Jalea Davis, her 4th straight game with at least 20 points. She's a big piece for them, and we'll see if they get going with her in the lineup more regularly. Today, 21 points on 9 of 15 shooting. Saniya Nichols had her worst game against the Bears, 11 points on 4 of 10 shooting. She was averaging 23 points against the Bears in her prior 3 contests for the junior, who's 3rd in the Big 12 in scoring today. Just 10 field goal attempts for her. Leah Meister finishes with 11 points and 10 rebounds, so she ends up with a double-double. After that, for the Jayhawks, Elle Evans, just 6 points on 2 of 4 shooting. She is 51% from the arc, second best in terms of percentage three-point shooter in the nation, but today she was only able to get 4 attempts. And she did hit 2 of them, so right at 50%, but she finishes with just 6 points. 5 for Saniya Copeland off the bench, and for Keely Parks. No one else had more than 3. For the Bears, 3 in double figures, led by Talia Scott, 24 points, 8 of 22 shooting, 6 of 6 free throws, 2 of 13 beyond the arc, so continues to be cold from downtown, but still, the professional scores, Coach Nikki calls her, scored regularly, 24 points on and 3 rebounds and an assist for the Bears. After that, Dariana Little-Page-Buggs really the player of the game for the Bears. 16 points, 13 rebounds, her 9th double-double of the year. 7 of 7 from the field. She had 6 assists, 1 turnover, 1 foul, and a blocked shot. 10 points for Jana Van Geitenbeek, 3 of 10 shooting. She had 3 rebounds, 3 assists, and a career high 4 steals. 8 points for Bella Fauntleroy. She moved into 5th place all-time on Baylor's 3-point list, moving ahead of both Kristen Mayberry and Angela Tisdale. So good job there today by Bella Fauntleroy. By the way, Dariana Little-Page-Buggs moved into 8th place all-time on her own, passing Maggie Davis-Stinnett on the all-time rebounds list. 7 points for Yu-Ting Dunn. Hit just 1 field goal, but was 4 of 4 from the free throw line. She also had 3 assists. 6 points off the bench for Kaylin Elms to go along with 2 rebounds and an assist. After that, it was for the Bears, 4 points for Kirsten Johnson. She also had 3 rebounds, 2 apiece for Kyla Abraham and Markayla Johnson. And Kyla Abraham today had 2 rebounds and 3 blocked shots. Markayla Johnson, a pair of rebounds for the Bears. It all adds up to a 79-64 win for the Bears. We'll take a timeout, look at other scores today, and wrap things up from Foster Pavilion.
Bears win this one today, 79-64, to improve to 15-3 on the year. 4-1 in Big 12 play as the Jayhawks fall to 11-6, 1-4 in conference action. Back with more on the First Central Credit Union postgame show right after this on the Baylor Sports Media Network.